Hello and welcome back to the Crowded Tavern, an actual play TTRPG podcast recorded live on Twitch every other Wednesday. Join us on our 5e homebrewed adventure, written by our very own Dungeon Master, Martin Hoffman Larson, but you can call him Marty, and played out by a band of Chaos Gremlins. I'm your co-host Amanda, and with me today is Rick.
Hello. Oh my god, I'm first.
You're
Hi,
first. I'm changing it up.
Hello.
Danny.
Hi.
Adamori.
What's up?
And Marty.
That's me.
We are missing a Cheesy Kids this week as he's had to work, but don't worry, Marty is playing the important role of Benjamin. So in the last session of the Crowded Tavern, Benjamin stole lightning magic conduit. Kacsi, how do you say that name, Marty? Tell me.
Kacsi.
Wow, good thing I don't have to talk to him in game. That'd be awkward. Kacsi returned from hunting with a boar that had burn marks. Arleem found a whole bunch of handmade figurines at his tent door. The group tracked Otis to a small treehouse Benjamin had made. Strix and Arleem confronted Benjamin about Otis stealing the conduit and discovered it in his backpack. Neza and Auburn were joining the group in the treehouse when Benjamin used Thunderstep, and both were blown from the treehouse and landed hard on the ground. Benjamin ran off, Neza was on his heels, and just as she caught up to him, he slammed his hands into the ground and summoned a greater demon. While we dealt with the greater demon, Strix just straight up murdered Otis. And back at camp, Auburn found a letter from Arleem about what a great guy he is, and it made us all cry. He dropped his shifted ego immediately. Oh, and Arleem is basically a god now. That happened. Benjamin and Wortam had a verbal showdown, and Wortam took all his powers back from Benjamin. And Neza decided that Benjamin will make a good apprentice and will take him under her care to help get them home. Now that we're all welcomed and caught up on Session 9 events, I'm going to pass it over to Marty to get this game started.
All right. Thanks for the recap. I believe that I very rudely pushed Auburn aside towards the end of last session. So I think that is a good place to start before we head into all the shenanigans we're going to go through today. So Auburn, if I remember correctly, you received the letter and you left your tent and went to sit down somewhere by yourself for a short while. So what is Auburn up to currently?
I think that Auburn would not show his face around the camp for at least most of the day, and he'll just be walking around the outskirts of town thinking. And then when the sun is almost about to go down, he'll go and find Arleem.
Okay. Where would Arleem be in towards the end of the night?
At this point, Arleem's probably still a little unnerved about what happened and being told, because that was at dinner essentially, but he got told that he was being looked up to. I don't use the word worshipped because that sounds like I'm up my own ass. But yeah, it's probably not sitting too well with him, purely because of like how he views his own kind of larger, more powerful beings and his attitudes towards them. So that's kind of churning around his head. So he is probably someone quite quiet and secluded, which is very unlike Arleem. Not like outside the camp, but not necessarily in the thick of things where he would usually be.
All right.
Sorry, that was it.
Okay. So yeah, Auburn, you first go to his tent. He's not really Arleem is not there, so you start to look around. So it does. You don't find him immediately, but eventually you do find a little secluded spot in the middle of the camp, and you can walk over to him if you want to.
I approach, and I look exhausted, and big dark circles under my eyes. like I've been pushing myself way too hard for a while, which he has. And I quietly just walk up to you, like a bit hesitantly, and I just go, hi.
Hey, are you okay?
Can we talk?
Yeah.
I never wanted to come here. I mean, not here. The mission. I never actually wanted to go.
Oh, so why did you sign up?
My master wanted me to. He was very old. Even when he found me, when I was abandoned, when I was a child, and he raised me. But even I could tell when I grew up that he was old, even for an elf, and frail. But he took care of me, and he taught me everything I know. And he was kind to me, but he wanted me to be more. And he so lamented that there was nowhere left in our world to explore. He felt that all the magic had gone from the world and everything had been discovered. So when he learned that you could travel to other places, he was really excited, but then he started dying from old age. He wasn't sick or anything, but he was too old to go. And so he wanted me to go. He wanted me to be what he couldn't be anymore. A guardian, a protector, just like the arcane archers of old. And I didn't want to leave him. I didn't want to leave Baraguo, but I didn't want to disappoint him either. So I said yes. And I signed up. And right before I went to live at IAC, he died. And I couldn't change my mind, even if I wanted to. So I went. And even though I was scared, I thought maybe it would be okay, because it was what he wanted. He thought I could do it. And now I'm here. So I hope you don't think less of me for being honest about my reluctance to come here. But I want you to know, and I take out the letter. It's a bit crumbled because he's been holding it really tight. I want you to know that what you wrote here for me, it really means a lot. It made me feel important. And while I may not look it right now, and while I may not feel like it right now, I'm going to try to be the person that you wrote this letter to.
I want you to know that I wrote that letter because I could see what you were doing to yourself. I could see kind of the pain behind the eyes of what was going on. And I tried to talk to you, and I know that it wasn't maybe the right moment, or maybe even, the right time, but I just felt that you needed to hear what I think you do know already. And from what you've just told me there, which I honestly respect so much, because that must have taken so much to say. And I genuinely thank you so much for sharing that with me. I genuinely think that you are more than living up to the image of the person that your master wants you to be. If he expected you to be some sort of guardian and protector, you've been doing that since the second we landed on this planet. Okay? You may not see it and you may not believe it, but we wouldn't be sitting here if you hadn't done some of the things you've done. I certainly wouldn't. And whilst you are free to call upon whatever power you need to in order to get the job done, I just want you to know imperatively that you, as you are here, is all we need. And we don't need anything else. Okay?
Thank you, Arleem.
You're welcome. Are you a hugger?
Sure. I could use one right now.
I stand up and I give Auburn a huge hug.
I hug him back.
And then when we kind of unembrace, I pull out the small wooden statues from my pocket. And I'm like, so slight topic change, but I think the villagers think I'm some sort of god.
Oh.
And I don't know how to go about this. And I'm not saying you need to answer right now. I'm just saying you shared a problem with me. I'm sharing a problem with you. I don't know how to deal with this. This is weird.
Well, what are you worried about?
I can barely look after myself. Have you seen this entire trip? I've been relying on everyone. I don't.
We've been relying on you too. Most of us would be dead if you hadn't healed us.
Yeah, I suppose in some situations, sure. I don't know. I just don't know what to expect when people expect stuff from me. I've never been in that situation before.
Well, I don't expect anything from you, Arleem, other than you just being the very nice person that I think you are, and I think you've always been.
I appreciate that.
So, while you've been telling me to not let expectations get to me, I think you should probably benefit from some of your own wisdom. Just do what you think is right. I know you will.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I just need to, figure out maybe exactly how far some people have gone. Anyway. Do you want a drink?
I've never had a drink before.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll start you off slow then. And
Right.
I pull out some of the vodka that was left for me in my tent. And I pour Auburn a very weak drink. And I suppose we continue chatting.
All right.
And I go,
All right. So you probably sit and continue chatting for a while before you go to bed. And with that, I think another day is over. And we are going to go into a series of time skips. Because we are going to skip ahead in time. The very first time skip is very short. It's the next day. Because...
Whoa!
What's
know,
happening
right?
here?
What's
wild.
the date? What time is it?
The very next day, in the morning, Benjamin is coming by Strix's, wherever Strix is sleeping, because he's going to start his official training.
Okay. Strix will take him out to a little clearing in the forest where he's prepared some things, and he'll sort of sit him down so that they're sat facing each other, with the bit of ground between them. And Strix will say, Benjamin, I'm gonna show you something that I'm yet to reveal to anybody else on this planet, and I'd appreciate if you didn't mention it.
Is it worse than summoning a random demon?
I don't think so.
Oh. Okay.
So Strix is going to reach into his feathers, into his bag of holding, and he's going to pull out a fairly large black spider, about the size of a hand. This is my familiar. Her name's Sable. And he'll sort of let him crawl sort of over his wings and things.
Why would you pick a spider? Why wouldn't you pick something more, I don't know, cute, like, an owlbear, for example?
There are different reasons for choosing different familiars, and maybe one of the things we can discuss as you're learning more about the nature of magic, the nature of familiars, what their uses are. One of the key points that I want you to understand here is that Sable isn't a spider.
Oh.
Sable is an immortal Fae soul. She's really a Fae. But she's been bound into a beastly spider's body so that she can be of use, a familiar. It ties her to this plane. Do you understand?
So is was Otis the same?
Maybe. Would you mind taking Sable just over into the forest for a second and tell her a secret. Tell her a secret that you wouldn't mind me knowing.
Okay. And Benjamin is taking the spider into sorry, Sable?
Sable.
Sable, yeah, taking Sable, walking into the forest. And I don't even know a secret from his character. Actually, I do know a secret. It's just something I didn't mind him knowing, right? So, Benjamin is looking at the spider, and he's like, So, Sable, back in Barguo, me and my friends, we always hang out on the roof on a house, and we're not supposed to go there. And even Scoutmaster said that we shouldn't go there, but we did anyway, and I kind of miss it. And then he's like
as soon as
looking about, and then he's like, "What now, Sable?"
as soon as he says something, Sable will sort of like nod with her whole body, and then start scurrying next.
Whoa!
Does Benjamin follow?
Yeah, I think so. He's running after Sable. Come back!
Cool. Here, Benjamin will see that as soon as Sable gets anywhere near Strix will pick up a rock off the ground and splat her.
What did you do?
Strix will pick up the body. What is the fundamental nature of a familiar, Benjamin?
It is a spider.
No.
Well, not a spider. It's a fae-soul.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Found in a beastly body.
So it's already dead.
You could say that. Could you get a fire going for me, please?
I mean, like a small campfire.
Yeah, just a little campfire.
Okay. And Benjamin runs off, finds some quick sticks and stuff like that, and he starts trying to make a fire the old traditional way.
Cool. Strix will pull out a small metal cauldron that he'll place above the fire.
Okay.
So, I'm going to teach you a ritual now, Benjamin. The first thing we need is some salt, and he'll take some salt and throw it in the cauldron. And then next we need something that ties to the soul that we want to contact. Can you could you pull a hair off one of Sable's legs, please?
Okay. And Benjamin's a little bit about this, but he does. He
And Strix will throw that in the cauldron as well. Next, we want 3 of the green leaves. So we'll pick up 3 green leaves that he's laid out. Chuck those in the pot. And then 1 of the black. And then we chant. Okay, can you repeat after me, please, Benjamin?
Okay.
So no mahi tomi da.
So no. Not even I can do that. He's repeating what you're saying.
Okay. And so no mehi domine.
So no many domine.
And then as he says that, the fire goes out.
Oh no.
As the puff of black smoke comes out of the cauldron. And then out of the cauldron crawls a little spider.
Wow.
Rolls up on Strix's shoulder. And he says to Benjamin, so you, it sounds like you really had some good times on that roof.
How did you know that?
Sable told him.
But how?
A familiar is an immortal soul bound in a beastly body. The body can die, but the soul is immortal. It can be bound to this plane as many times as you need it.
So they always can come back? So
Yeah.
Otis can come back?
Perhaps. Fays aren't the only creatures with immortal souls. Celestials, devils, demons all have immortal souls.
How do you get a fae soul instead of a demon soul?
Well, that's what the hair was for. You need something that ties to the particular soul you're trying to reach.
Oh.
Strix pulls out some charred owlbear feathers.
And Benjamin recognizes them straight away. Is that that's from an owlbear, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Does it
Do you
have a
think you can
soul?
remember the ritual?
So ho no mi Sammy no.
First, we need to get the fire going again.
Benjamin is really excited now, and he's actually fumbling a little bit with getting the fire going, and he's like, "Oh God!" But eventually, yes, he gets the fire back on.
Okay, so we start with the soul, then something that ties to the soul we're trying to reach.
And he is
3 of the green leaves, and then Strix will sort of take a look at the various ingredients that he's laid out. Maybe we should give him a form a little more benign this time. What do you think?
Like what?
There's plenty of options. Maybe I suppose that would be quite appropriate. He hands Benjamin a white leaf.
A what?
A white leaf.
Okay.
It's just a spell ingredient for now.
Okay.
And then chanting.
Yeah, he's doing that.
The fire goes out, and then there's a little egg left in the cauldron this time.
I got an egg. And he's like looking at Strix, and he's like sort of like making the motion to, about to pick it up, but then he stops and he looks at Strix.
No, Strix nods.
Okay, and he picks it up. It's then
It starts to hatch. And inside there's a small white owl.
owl.
Mm.
Okay. Oh. It sort of looks like you, Strix, just another color.
Sort of. Otis? Sorry.
You said Otis?
Yeah, I'm trying to talk to the owl.
Okay. So I guess the owl is looking in your direction.
Look, I wanted to tell you I'm sorry. I made some mistakes, misinterpreted some things. I made some judgments about you that weren't warranted, and I acted rashly. I'm sorry.
Okay. Otis is sort of just nodding at you, turning its head 180 degrees back and looking at Benjamin. He's so cool. I have my own little Strix now. Thank you.
No problem. As we go through the next few weeks, and I do more lessons, I can teach you, more forms for him, various different things you can do with him, and Sable.
Yeah.
That's something you'd be interested to learn.
And Benjamin is, just nodding. And just, the prospect of being able to having not just one, but multiple different shapes for Otis is sort of like he's already, thinking up stuff, and you can see that he probably wants to go make new drawings and stuff of familiars he wants.
Okay, good. Good, good. I think we've done well today. Thank you, Benjamin.
Well, thank you, Strix.
No problem.
All right. So over the next month, back into time skip mode. Over the next month, Strix will continue to train Benjamin, and in the beginning, it's going a little bit slow with repowering Benjamin. But something else that also happens is that some of the villagers. Do you actually still have music? Because my music keeps stopping, so I'm just curious.
We do, yeah.
Cool. What also happens over this month is that some villagers start to notice that you are having magical training. And there are a few who used to be able to do magic that can't anymore, and they are asking if they at some point can join in and also get some, see if they can rekindle their magic. So how is Strix overall feeling about, people asking?
Strix is open to people sitting in on Benjamin's lessons. Like, his focus will still be on Benjamin, but he doesn't see any reason that.
Okay.
Strix, the school teacher.
Also, in this time period, Benjamin is, when he's not being taught by Strix, he spends the rest of the day together with Neza. In the beginning, Neza is teaching him, just all the, basics about engineering, but the focus is most of the time on how to use the astronomy equipment. And Benjamin already had that thing where he could make, show the stars, and he didn't really know how to input stuff himself. But Neza teaches him that, and over time, Benjamin is inputting more and more data into this device about the stars, because he has been every night he is noting stuff down about where the stars is, and slowly but surely they're building up a star map of where they are currently. The Nothic Jad is still around, or at least he was still around for a little while, but one morning he has disappeared. Neza was one of the few ones that kept contact with him, and he kept, just asking, when is Master arriving? You promised me Master. And Neza is constantly trying to, he'll be as soon as try to keep them around and keep trying to, name them Jat and try and see if he can do something for them. But eventually he's just disappeared one morning, and Neza or none of the others have seen him since. The goblins, you made some friends in the goblin camp, and they send you some messengers that they want to still continue to be friends, and also with the help from Strix. Some of the villagers are taught Goblin, because the Strix is really good with languages, according to his backstory. So he, with the help from Neza, is first learning the Goblin language and then teaching other villagers slowly. And the goblins are helping. Or you are helping each other. So the goblins keeps finding, random doodads that has fallen from the sky, and they're very interested in these small devices. And if it's something that's not dangerous, a lot of the time Neza is just teaching them how to use them, and if not, then then she keeps them and gives them something else. But you start to have like a small exchanging of knowledge and trade among the two people. So it also means that it is starting to get a little bit more chill. You only have the clothes sort of that you arrived in, and a few extra, spare sets. So they also help you, teach you how to, make clothes out of, stuff that you find in nature, from skins and leathers and stuff like that. And so you're helping each other. There's also a few celebrations. The first celebration is the first house being built. A second first celebration is the first street, and it is at this celebration that we jump into our next scene, because Neza has been pretty much just stayed in her lab most of the time, teaching Benjamin, trying to figure out a way home, figure out how much power, when to, how to open a portal, things like that. She keeps experimenting, and Neza, if I can get you to roll a d20 real quick for me.
Not 20.
Okay. Nat 20. It can't crit. It's just, I just have a table with stuff that can happen. At one point, Neza is trying to just open a portal to see what happens, but she might have miscalculated something, because she's opening it up into outer space, and a few things are being sucked into the portal. But Benjamin is there as well, and he actually presses the stop button that closes the portal, because every good engineer knows that it's always good to have an assistant helping in case you need to stuff like this happens. So luckily
IAC taught us nothing.
Luckily, nothing too big happened, but in Neza's mind, it's also like you always learn something, so maybe we need to be a little bit more careful where we open portals to.
Gosh, you'd think a 20 would be something good, but no, space.
But anyway, she's spending most of the time at her lab, but even someone like Neza needs to get out of the lab sometimes, so it's probably the first street celebration that she eventually moves outside and is actually among the people in the gathering. So the first street has been built. It's not a long street, but a celebration is a celebration. All small wins count, especially when you're stranded on an unknown world. So it's currently evening. There's like a few bonfires going, and thus food has been prepared, and all the people are having a good time. What is Neza doing?
She is standing not too close, just kind of observing right now, watching everyone have a good time.
All right. You see a familiar face that sees you standing there, and he's not that tall, so his hand is up in the air, waving at you, and it's Thrag. And he comes up to you. Oh, it's good to see you outside the lab for a change. How's everything going?
We are definitely getting somewhere. We successfully opened a portal today, which is great.
Oh, where did it lead?
Not home. Just space. Space. The sky, but
he looks up.
Yeah, you see all those stars? It was just somewhere up there, somewhere out there. But now we know that we have the right everything to open the portals. We just need to get the right coordinates to get us home, because there is the whole issue where we're not actually sure where we are, but we're figuring it out. So
Okay,
this is a street.
We built it.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Everyone chipped in. I mean, some people think it's a bit stupid to build, city or village here, but it gets the mind focused on something else.
You have to have a purpose.
Exactly. And you can see that he looks around just to see who's nearby. There's actually also probably some people who actually don't want to go home.
I can understand that. This is a nice place.
This is what we wanted, isn't it?
Fresh start. It's just not where we thought it was going to be.
Exactly. So, but there's also, the other group that strongly feels like we should go home, and we should go home yesterday.
Well, they're just gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
Science takes time.
And this is not to mean harsh or anything, but you're doing everything you can, right?
Well, most of the time I'm just sitting in there drinking tea, Thrak, because I think that would be the best way to get us home, is just me sitting on my ass drinking tea.
I need to roll an inside check for Thrak real quick.
He'll fail. He always does.
Yep.
Where is he? Thrak, good old boy. There we go. Insight. Oh, I mean, it's okay. I mean, maybe I said it wrongly. It's just, it's not me who's asking. It's just, Rita is very pushy and really wants us to go home as fast as possible. So I was just checking. I didn't mean to upset you.
Oh, I'm not upset.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you need anything, I know that probably next week we're starting to build your lab. So don't just have to be in the tent. So that starts next week.
That is much appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just wish we had some booze. And then he walks off.
I could probably help with that, but maybe it's better.
He comes back. Wait, what? You can help with that?
I mean, maybe. Creating alcohol, distilling alcohol is just science.
I mean, he leans in. Probably don't tell Rita, but I think that's higher priority. And then he leaves. Alright. Anything else Neza wants to do with her evening?
No, she'll just mill around and maybe talk to some people.
Alright. So, continuing onwards from here, we will continue 2 more months down the line. So 3 months after the crash. Neza keeps experimenting. Neza keeps teaching Benjamin. Strix keeps teaching Benjamin.
It's like school.
Yeah. Strix is also starting to use his undead for another purpose. He is sending out the undead to try and examine the mountains, to try and see if he can find the location of the red bird that can spew fire, and try to gather some information and some intel on it. And yep, so that is going on at the same time. More and more houses are being built. Auburn, at the outskirts of the city, Auburn is actually starting building his own little house. But some people are going to help him from time to time. But he's been building his own little shed or house. The lab is being finalized as well. Neza is moving in, and because in the beginning everyone needs to sort of bundle a bit together, Strix is going to move into this house as well. Arleem, you're getting a quite large house for just one person, because some people decided that he needs something a little bit larger. But
Does it have a bell? Maybe a
no, does it? But it does have room in the house as well. So, Arleem, if you allow it, Benjamin will move into the house together with you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so you're taking Ben sort of under your wing as well, and maybe being there for him when he needs it. Strix tries to convince Neza that we need more undead to do work for us. So
You
can
take cookery lessons.
Exactly. That's funny you say that, because I have this in my notes that undead are not allowed. And we have you and me, Adam. We haven't talked about this. This is just something I thought you would like. So, undead are not allowed in the house except Violet. Violet is the only one that's been allowed inside the house together with Strix and Neza, and their cooking has greatly improved over time. So you actually have your own little food servant, so you don't have to think about that anymore.
That's something that I can get on board with, because if I'm distilling alcohol and making a portal home, who has time to think about food?
Exactly.
You see, they're very useful. We've got all of these bodies.
But aren't they even more decomposed now than they were 3 months ago?
I mean, Violet's just a skeleton. She still puts in work, right?
Does Violet at least wear an apron or something?
She does.
Is the cook?
She actually does have. I imagined when I wrote this that you have dressed her in clothes and even a wig, just because other people, when they're coming by, just to see if they see her from behind, it just looks like a person inside the kitchen doing stuff. So.
If that's what Neza wants, Strix will reluctantly accept, but he doesn't love it.
All right.
I'm not sure if Neza wants that either, but it's hilarious.
So yeah. So the other one that they are there was a little house built for them, like basically a shed at the back of the lab where they can be if they want to go inside. I don't even know if they need to, but it's there for their use if they want to. But yeah, Auburn. This is where everyone should imagine the Auburn training montage. Auburn running, sprinting, doing, I don't know if he does push-ups, chopping wood. I don't know if you want to add something to Auburn's training montage yourself.
Well, he's basically been training ever since that day he spoke to Arleem. And he's doing labs, he's doing physical training, he's doing anything that he used to do, target practice and such. But he also asks for Neza and Strix to help him to spar with him to improve. And while he has done that, he has also removed every single spellstone and magical enhancement from his gear. Because, just like his master now, he believes that his magic and strength should come from himself and nothing else. So he basically asks Neza and Strix to practically beat him up with range combat and melee combat sparring, so he can get better at dodging and fighting hand to hand and fighting ranged. And whenever he thinks he can't do it, or he starts doubting himself again, he either reads his letter, or he goes and hangs out a bit with Arleem to feel better about himself. And he also... sorry.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
He also asks Benjamin to do scouting, tracking stuff with him to improve on that as well.
I was going to say, I'd like to think that Arleem did try and help out with like various spa and physical
He can
training
also do
for
that.
like a couple weeks, and then very rapidly gave up on it because he could not keep up.
We all come to see Arleem after we're done with a training session.
Yeah.
Like, we're all at 1 HP. Can you please heal us up?
Yeah, so Arleem is definitely going to heal some broken bones here and there.
Mhm.
And Arleem gets like really good at those post-workout massages.
All right, but yeah, Auburn, congratulations! You are training yourself up, and you're almost about hitting level 12 at this point. Maybe 11 and a half.
Nice.
But yeah, but it is.
Can I add a little thing that
Sure.
once, perhaps if you allow it, once his training is complete, some small antlers have grown from Auburn's antler knobs.
Awesome.
Not as large as when he shifted,
No,
but they're there.
that's awesome. But it is slowly 3 months ahead. You arrived, when it was autumn. 3 months ahead, it is starting to get chill. There's a little bit of snow. Food supplies are starting to slowly run low. At least the ones that you brought yourself. Obviously, there has been some hunting and gathering going on. And this particular morning, Auburn, you are out hunting. You track your way through the forest as you always do, and you hear a sound. You hear something walking, something on four legs. You start sneaking to be quiet and sneak up towards the sound, and eventually you can see a deer.
I watch it for a while. And
It
then
is eating leaves from the trees. The few leaves that are still left. There's not much left at this point.
then I take out my bow and arrow.
Okay.
And I just breathe out slowly and empty my mind. And then I shoot for the heart for a quick kill.
All right. Let's have a quick roll for attack roll, please.
Do I get advantage because I'm stealthy?
Sure.
That is going to be 18.
18. All right. You let go of the arrow, and all that training that you've done the past 3 months seems to have paid off. You hit it right in the heart. It, out of reflex, starts to run just a few steps, and then it just tumbles to the ground.
I quickly run up to it to see if it's dead or I need to mercy kill it.
It is probably still conscious at this point, but it is slowly expiring.
Fine. Right. I look a bit conflicted and regretful for a moment, but then I say a quick prayer in Elvish, which essentially just thanking the deer and nature for providing and asking for forgiveness. And then I end it with my sword.
Okay. So you do that, and you are preparing the deer so you can transport it home when you hear different noise. You hear like a branch snap somewhere.
I really quickly pull the hood up on my elven cloak and try to stay hidden.
Okay. Do a quick perception check for me as well, please.
That's good. It's going to be 23.
23, okay. So you quickly, when the sound happens, you immediately know where it is with a 23. So you pull your hood up so you're a bit more stealthy. You look in the direction, and it's not close to it. It's a bit further out, so you don't feel like they can see you where you are currently. But you do see a figure walking through the forest.
Can I see who it is?
Probably not this distant currently.
I make sure no other creatures are around, and then I sneak to see who is there.
Okay. So you try and sneak closer. And I think with your hood, I don't even need to ask for a stealth check. I think that's... this person is not actively looking for you either, so I think you managed to get closer without too much issues with ease. And as you get closer, you do notice that this is someone from the camp. Kacsi is walking through the forest. He has a bow with him, but it's just attached to he's just carrying it over his shoulder. He's not using it.
Yeah.
He's not aimed for you. He's walking in a different direction.
Is he walking away from camp or towards camp?
Away from camp.
I consider calling out, but then I remember the boar. So I follow him.
All right. You do follow him. Eventually, you follow him for a bit. You can see that he's walking around, and in the beginning, you don't notice, but you realize that he's sort of like whispering stuff to himself. And you hear like, so where do I need to go? Okay, I'll go over here then. I'll go over here. And it's almost like someone else is guiding him in a direction. And eventually, he stops. And you notice quickly why. Because there is a boar again, just because I'm not that I don't have a lot of imagination right now, apparently. So that's a boar. And what you would do normally, this is where you would, if you were tracking something, you would prepare your bow, but you just see that he just, takes it off his shoulder and puts it down on the ground. Alright.
What did they say? I didn't say anything.
Okay. And he's sort of just muttering, okay, I'll do exactly as you showed me. And he is casting some kind of spell, which is probably looking similar to a what's the warlock spell called that all warlocks throw?
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast at the boar and kills it that way. Oh, yes, I did it! Another one. Thank you so much. And then he walks up to the boar and is grabbing it and trying to just drag it back towards you, actually back towards the camp.
I'm pretty sure Auburn would know what this is. So he's gonna get out of the way and stay hidden.
Okay. Sure. So Kacsi.
But
I didn't mention.
Very
I did
worried.
mention. Yeah. Kacsi is just pulling this boar back towards the camp, and yeah, you've almost seen this scene before when he arrived at camp that one morning with a different boar.
I look around to see if I can see a certain being anywhere nearby.
You don't see him, but you have a feeling that he's probably around, and it is. You do feel a little chill, but you're not quite sure if it's because he is around or if it's just because it's it's cold currently. But yeah, you do feel a chill.
I'm gonna try to get if he's moving slowly because he's dragging a board. I'm gonna try to get ahead of him, get back to my kill.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
And then I'm just gonna act like I was there the whole time. If he comes that way.
Okay, if you run into him. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna try to deliberately run into him.
Okay, yeah. So you get back to your kill, which you've already prepared for to move. So you probably just take it up on your shoulder or something. I guess Auburn could do.
Sure.
I mean, up to you. You can also drag it.
He'd probably drag it. He's stronger than average, but not super strong.
Okay. So you drag it back towards Cam and back in the direction Kacsi was walking in as well, and you do run into him on your way back, and Kacsi looks at it's sort of a little bit surprised of seeing you, but also just I see both of us were lucky this morning.
Hey, Kacsi, yeah, great job. You killed another one. You've been doing really great for a few months now.
Yeah, I guess I've just been lucky.
Yeah. So, how do you do it? How do you get so lucky?
I don't know. I just walk into the woods, and there's animals in the woods.
Kacsi, I know that feeling useless and weak can make you feel like you need some sort of edge. I want you to know that you're good enough as you are. You don't need anything other than who you are.
Well, okay. Yeah.
And not everything that seems like help is well intentioned.
Okay. He's looking at you, and he's probably not completely sure where what this is about and where it's headed.
Anyway, just be careful. Don't forget who you are.
I'll try not to. I'm Kacsi. I used to always get interacted. Now I'm doing good stuff. I really like this place. It's really turned everything around.
Yeah. And I think Auburn just is just. This has turned really awkward. So Auburn's just gonna. We should probably get these back to camp, and so people can get some food.
Yes. Who would have thought when we landed here on day one that you and I, we would be hunting buddies? We're like so amazing, aren't we?
Sure. Well, you go ahead. I'll just drag this along. It's heavy, so I probably won't be as fast as you.
Oh, okay. Well, see you back at camp. And
Sure.
you sort of get the sense that he is walking a little bit faster than normally would, trying to get away out of the situation. So
I'll smile reassuringly at him until he's out of sight, and then just stand there going, "Oh boy."
So, the next few months, few as in two, all the training and all the usual stuff keeps going. Strix, you were training Benjamin, and over time, in the beginning, you could see that it was very difficult for Benjamin to, draw power from somewhere, and it was very difficult for him. But over time, it starts to get easier and easier, and you have your suspicions that whatever connection that used to be between Benjamin and Wortam is sort of still there in some shape or form. It's not like it's completely cut off. That's Strix's suspicion. He is talking to Benjamin about it, and they are, being a little bit more open about the whole thing, but obviously he doesn't know for sure, but Benjamin definitely still gets some power from somewhere. So his powers doesn't just come from the conduit, it also comes from Wortam, or wherever Wortam gets his power from. Okay? One day, because I know this was on Strix's bucket list that I got from you, Adam, one day you are having a conversation with Benjamin, and all of a sudden you can see that he just stops talking and he goes a little bit paler than usual. And he looks at you and he's like, "Strix, I think he's here."
Immediately cast True Seeing.
All right. You cast True Seeing and you're looking around. And you do, in fact, see Wortam walking out of the camp towards those. You remember those sort of in-between energy lines that Strix have seen earlier? Yeah. And Wortam is walking out of camp towards one of those, and you're true seeing, so you're seeing his true form.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You see that bird-like creature. Let's just call it dragons, because that's basically what they are. You see him walking on all four. It's a dragon, but half of his side is sort of like burned, twisted. He's actually walking with a limp, and you can see that his scales is a very, very dark red, like probably more like Bordeaux or something like that. And he walks up to one of those in between lines, and as he do so, he walks into it, and you can see that he's sort of just whoop, following that line, and then he's gone.
Gonna take a much closer look at that line.
Okay. So, what you you roll an Arcana check first of all, I think, instead of me just giving you a lot of details if I don't have to. 11. Okay.
11.
You can definitely. It's difficult to concern exactly what they are and what the purpose is. But it's but you can sort of see, different when you look around in the sky and in the world. You can see that they sort of are a lot of different places, and you're not completely sure if it's like if he walks into like a different plane or what it is, or if it's just like for travel, or what their purpose are. You haven't really seen anything like this before.
Do I get any idea of like how I might go about using it?
You try, but you're trying everything. Strix is trying everything they can think of, but they can't get anything to work. They're trying to, draw magic from it. They're trying to pull magic into it. They're trying to just stand there and think that they are, flying. They're trying all sorts of things, but it doesn't seem like they can get anything to work.
Benjamin's had like almost 6 months of magical training at this point. I'm gonna bring him over and sort of do my best to show it to him. And in fact, can I cast True Seeing on someone else? I think I can.
Judge Danny is nodding.
Okay. Yes, I will. On another day, I'll cast True Seeing on Benjamin and show him.
What are these? Are they everywhere?
They seem to be. I'm
also in our world.
I've never seen them in our world.
Oh.
Your friend seems to understand them pretty well. I'd
Otis?
be interested. Your former friend.
Oh.
I'm interested to know what you make of them.
I'll just quickly roll for Benjamin. I think that requires a roll. I mean, I don't know. They look like some kind of weird energy lines to me. Not quite sure. Basically, he rolled low, so he doesn't. he can't really. You can see he's trying his best to describe what he sees and what he feels, but again, nothing new that you didn't figure out yourself. So.
Okay. Yes, I think you're right about that. Those are some astute observations. Any idea how we go about using one of them?
He's using them?
Seems to be.
Huh. I mean, I've never seen these before. Never seen him using them before. So.
Okay.
Don't know.
That's interesting. He probably doesn't want us to know he's using them. If you've never seen him do it.
Perhaps. I mean, he has a tendency to keep information to himself.
Yeah. We should try and map these out so that we can understand when he's close to one and when he's far from one, if we ever need to deal with him again.
Okay. I can totally do that. I'm already mapping out all the stars. So.
Good. That'd be very useful. Thank you.
All right. Is that it?
I don't know that there's much else
No.
I can try.
Okay. So another big celebration is coming up. The city is over this time span growing. It's still like not a village. It's the houses. It's not like everyone gets like a personal house, or if there are families probably get for the whole family. If there are a few families that have been traveling together, but for the rest,
Speaking of families, did that lady have her baby?
Well, we're getting to that. Don't jump ahead. Have you seen my script?
Well, I'm just saying, it's been months. Like,
Yeah, I know. I'm very well aware.
okay.
Not forgotten. But anyway, there's this, so these a lot of the houses are like more like community houses. A lot of people have to live together. You are the few lucky ones who actually get some of a little bit better deals, like Neza and Strix living together, and Benjamin and Arleem are living together. Auburn built his own house, so he doesn't have that problem. But for everyone else, it's more like a small village where people have to share housings and stuff like that. But the next new celebration is the naming of this village, and the villages have settled on the new Bara. Very original.
What's it called?
New Bara. So not New Baragura, but just New Bara. They cut off the last bit because it became too much, some people thought.
Okay.
So over this course of time as well, more and more people, as has already been explored a little bit, are looking up to Arleem, I mean, it's not like they are worshipping him in that sense, but they are, looking to him as someone who, still has power, like the magical power that a lot of these people have lost. And over time, you found out that when you are around and you have the conduit with you, some of these people who used to be able to do, magical things, magic users, they can, through you and through this conduit, channel their own power, the power again, or they're channeling it through the conduit, so they do get some kind of, some of their spells and stuff back while you are around.
Out of interest, is that just me, or is that anyone with a conduit?
Anyone with a conduit.
Okay.
But you also get the sense that the people who are gravitating towards you are people who tend to have had a deity before, but don't have access to that anymore.
Okay.
So there's, again, it's a generalization. Obviously, there are other people as well who thinks Arleem is the coolest. He can still do magic shit, but and so with the others. That's there are students drawn to Strix as well. Former students of magic who has been drawn to these teachings that Strix has been doing, and the same is happening to you as well. The only one that's not really happening to is Neza, because Neza stays by herself, and she keeps the last conduit on the locks. So nobody is worshipping her in that sense.
You can worship me for my science, for my brain.
Exactly.
Worship my brain.
Are the conduit holding their power better than before? I assume they are.
Sorry, what?
Are the conduits holding their power better than they were before?
Right. So, great question. Let me answer that. So, those conduits who has been, because some of the conduits, the elemental one, the lightning one that Neza has is being used very little. So it's lost a little bit of its power, but it's still pretty functional. Strix, you use yours quite a bit. Use it every morning. because you need to keep your undead under check. You're teaching Benjamin and possibly some other of the villagers as well. So yours have lost during this time period, has lost a lot of its power, and you have noticed that's how that it's not as effective as it used to be. Arleem probably has as well, and somewhere along these 5 months that has now passed, they would have needed a recharge. And I don't know, Neza, would you have recharged them for the people?
Yes.
Okay. So these two conduits have been recharged at some point. So Arleem, you are very well aware, and Strix is you as well, that they don't. It's like a battery. It needs recharging from time to time.
Okay.
How much is left in the mag cans then?
We'll get to that. All these questions, you're all getting ahead of ourselves.
I know now.
Stop keeping us in suspense then. Tell the story faster.
On a personal note, for everyone else, it's probably worth noting that Arleem, at this point, it's been like 3 months, is no longer coy and concerned about this. He's more leaning into it. He doesn't consider himself to be a god. It's important to note that. He's aware that that's not the case at all. Nevertheless, he is quite cheekily leaning into the fact that people do seem to give him attention for stuff that he does.
All right. You have noticed one little change as well, Arleem. It's not only Arleem who has been changing a little bit. Your guide, when you look in the mirror and you see it, it used to be a blob of energy, whatever, can't really see any specific features with it. But over time, it has slowly started to become a shape, like a person. It's sort of like, imagine like you have a picture that is blurry, you're zooming in with a camera and it's blurry, it's out of focus, and you're slowly turning, the lens, so it slowly is getting into focus. That is sort of like what is happening with the guide as well.
Okay.
And you're standing in your own little home at this point, when it flares up, and you can almost see a person in the mirror. So do you have a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Because I know I'm just feeling unease with these conduits.
How comes?
Or maybe just ambivalent, because I can see how it helps people. I mean, you're doing a lot of good work for the people here. Everyone is definitely in a much better state of mind now.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. But on the other hand, I feel like it's a scale that is very easily tippable. If that's even a word Marty made up. I don't know. I just want to make sure that we never, use it for just selfish reasons.
I mean, what kind of selfish reasons are you implying?
No, I'm not implying anything. It's just, with, it's the conduit is a powerful thing, and it can easily. I mean, it's being used for good now, which is great. We're doing great. You're doing exceptionally great.
Thank you.
But it's also just imagine the wrong person, or just a situation that it's so easily the scale can tip so easily, so it's not any longer used for good.
No, I get that. I think that's good. I think it's a good point to make. But like, we had that situation day one with the conduits, right? That's what happened when Benjamin got his hand on them, and it went south pretty damn quickly. So I'd like to think that we're past that. Neza's got it under control. Neza's understands that, you know, the last conduit is locked up, safe. We only have them. We're not losing them. We keep them safe. I think you're worrying about nothing.
Okay. I just wanted to bring it, you know, to your attention that, you know, I do. I mean, I'm not omnipotent. I don't know everything that's happening, but you know, I'm around. I hear what you're talking about, and Nessa, you know, she's pushing for, you know, she's pushing for using that other, whatever he is, you know, add some of his power to these conduits. And don't get me wrong, I can understand, I can see why, but
I get it. I get it. I think it's worth being, you know, it's worth being noting it and understanding that it's a possibility. But honestly, I have no concerns right now. We've been using them for ages. Sure, they need recharging, but it's fine. I don't think this is too bad.
That kind of brings me to the second thing that I wanted to quickly just, you know, talk to you about. Throw some, you know, thoughts at you.
Okay.
I'm very far from home. You're very far from home. You know, normally, not. You know, when people, you're kind when they, you know, worship someone or some kind of deity, some kind of power. That's, you know, where these deities get their power from. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, which is part of, you know, what I do. I'm there to help you. So, you know, more people, you know all the teachings and you know, channel power towards, you know, these deities. The thing is, we're really far from home. I don't think this power goes to our deity.
Okay. So, what you think that the worship that's happening here is going to someone else? Someone's intercepting that?
Not intercepting. More like a, you know, clogged pipe.
Okay. Is the pipe going to the right place?
I mean, I guess I'm the pipe.
Okay.
Or, you know, well, I'm not the pipe. I'm right before the pipe, if that makes sense.
You're I don't know. A well, I suppose.
I don't know how to explain it. I mean, even, and you can see that in the mirror. Normally, it was just, again, as I said, a blob, but you can actually see like a being still a little bit out of focus, but like sort of looking at them, you know, their hands just.
Would it be bad of me to say that you're just worrying too much again?
I mean, this is all new to me too.
Okay.
There's like a part of me, and I never thought I would say that, but there's a part of me that really would like to taste some of that alcohol because it seems like it makes you really calm, and I could use that.
Oh my god, you've made me sound like a functioning alcoholic. I mean, if I could give you some, you know I would. You never seem like the partying type, let's be honest. Look, I think it's gonna be fine with what we've been here for just under 4 months or so now. It's not as bad as it could have been. We're making progress. Neza's finding ways of getting us back. And if there are situations like this, I doubt they're going to get worse, like suddenly for no reason. Like, I feel like we'll find a way to get back home. We can solve those problems and support the people here the way they need to be supported. Okay?
Okay. Just if I'm not used to this. I don't know if it's even remotely possible, but if Neza is trying to do what she intends to do, can we just maybe not do it to this particular conduit? Because I have an idea. I'm not sure if it works, but I want to look into it.
Sure, I suppose. I'd have to kind of run that past Neza and just make sure she's okay with it. The last thing I want her to think is something nefarious is happening to one of the conduits again.
I think.
Are you okay with me sharing that with her?
I mean, sure. And I know that then she will probably ask a lot of questions. So
she's probably used to not being able to answer her questions. Don't worry about it.
I think she's quite persistent. So what I'm thinking that I might be able to do is that maybe I can actually... I don't know what to do with all this, but maybe I can connect to the conduit. I feel like I can sense it, I can feel it. I feel like I can connect myself to it, which might solve the problem that I need to recharge it. Perhaps. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm rambling about.
Look, okay, right. It sounds like you've got an idea. Not in this conversation. The question to you is: the conduit in need of a charge relatively soon?
At this point, no.
Okay. Well, never mind.
Not soon. I mean, it is. You're still using it, so
Yeah.
obviously it's not full power. So, but it's
Okay.
good for now. So.
What you're implying is potential science, right? Potential experiment, potential of finding stuff out that Neza doesn't necessarily know about. She's not going to say no to that. Let's be real. Let's just tell her about it. She might be willing to, help facilitate.
Okay. I don't think I can do it with the other ones because I can always sense that thing, and he looks straight. I don't know where Arleem is keeping it. If it's not in his body, the guide is looking and it's straight in the direction where it is.
I'd like to think I've fashioned some sort of sling that goes over myself that just has it like there on me at all times.
All right, that's cool. But they're looking straight at it. If through the mirror, I can always sense it. I always know where it is, and I think it's because of the type of matching energy being used here or something like that. But I don't know where the others are. I don't sense them, so I only think it applies to this one.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's go find Neza. Let's have this conversation.
Okay.
And I leave my lovely house and go to find Neza. I assume Neza's in her lab.
You walk over to the lab. Is Neza in the lab, Neza?
Yes, Neza is absolutely in the lab.
Right.
Is the lab more extravagant now? I assume the lab has been.
Yeah, it's like a house now. It's a proper lab. I mean, it's still it's not like the metal and stone that you're used to from Baragur. This is all wooden stuff, but it still looks pretty nice. It looks like a lab. And inside, you find Neza, and something is going on. And it's very loud, and you can hear that Neza is yelling to Benjamin that turn that thing off. And Benjamin is running on and doing pressing some buttons and some levers, and the hum is lowering. And Neza, you now notice that Arleem is standing in the door.
Oh, hey, Arleem. What's up? Why are you here?
It's a bad time.
Oh, no, it's fine. Standard.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So I have a proposal to you.
What
I
kind
kind
of
of-
proposal?
unsling the conduit and kind of place it on the table and put the mirror next to it as well. I'm like, okay, so I had a conversation with my spirit this morning, who believes that there is some sort of magical block on the people who are worshipping here, to an extent that the praise that they're giving isn't reaching where it's supposed to go. I don't know how this stuff works, and I'm sure you don't really know either. This is a bit more ethereal than us.
Because, you're not actually a god?
Potentially, I don't know, but the worship isn't going to me. I want that to be. I'm not trying to consume this power for myself. I'm always honest about where my power comes from.
I'm just making sure,
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, this backup of power has potentially empowered my deity in a backwards kind of way, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. However, they feel like they can connect to your conduit. This one specifically.
Okay.
They know where it is. They can feel it. They can't sense the other ones, but they know that this one is here and it exists, and they feel like they can connect to it. They feel like they might be able to empower it or recharge it. I don't know. But I didn't really want to say to do anything until I'd spoken to you, because it's your conduit at the end of the day.
I actually think that is a great idea, because it was your deity's power that powered them to begin with. So if we're experimenting to create a continuous power source, I think it would be much more logical to use the power source that it initially came from.
Okay, that sounds good. Is there any concerns about overcharging this thing? Like, what happens if it takes in too much power? Can it short circuit or does it explode?
I'm sure it wouldn't explode, probably.
Look at the DM's face. I don't like it.
But, with experiments, we have to be ready for anything.
Okay. Well, I'm all for it then. I kind of glance at the mirror and see if they're still on board.
Okay. Yeah. Do I? That was
Do
easy,
your
actually.
thing, I suppose. Connect to it and see what you can do.
I thought there would be more questions. I don't feel like I'm prepared yet.
Is he saying something?
He is good for it. I don't want to potentially insult Nessa in this moment by saying you didn't have enough questions, because I feel like that's probably quite a personal attack to Nessa. So I'm just like, it's cool. He's got it. He's just figuring it out.
Okay. I mean, I would much rather this than the alternative. The alternative actually makes me very uncomfortable.
Wait, I'm sorry. What's the alternative?
Using...
Oh, I see what you mean. I didn't even consider that. If we can do this instead of that, then absolutely, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Right.
I don't... Does he know what he's doing?
I'm waiting.
I just watch the conduit.
All right, you watch the conduit, and I'll do a quick roll to see how it goes.
Oh God.
Natural one.
Okay. So. Okay. So what is you? If you're looking, Arleem, if you're holding up the mirror, so you can see the conduit. You can see that the guide is standing, next to it, and sort of just holding his hands out or their hands out, and just not really knowing what they're doing. But in the mirror, you do see that the hand sort of then quotation mark touches the conduit. Nessa, what you see is that the a little bit faded conduit at this point, probably half full at this point, all of a sudden starts to brighten up. And I guess, Arleem, you see it as well. But Neza, you cannot see the guide, but you can see that it's all of a sudden just lighting up. And the guide is like, oh, this seems like it's working. It seems easy. It seems like, and you sort of see that. How would I describe this? He's sort of like, or they're sort of like being pulled into it. Oh no! I can't stop it.
Can I pull the mirror away?
You can pull the mirror away, but they are still there. If you pull the mirror away, you can just not see them any longer.
Oh god. Okay.
But you do see like, and they're being pulled into the conduit. Neza, you just see a brightly lit conduit.
This looks like it's working great.
No. Something's gone wrong. Something terrible has happened. I kind of am looking in the mirror. Is it just a normal mirror now?
I guess right now, yeah, it is. Right now you can see them.
Okay.
What's wrong?
I can't see. I can't sense them. They're not there. They're not here. I kind of not throw the mirror, but like push it to one side and pick up the conduit and see if I can sense them in the conduit at all.
All right. Can I get you to roll a religion or arcana check? Up to you.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go with. They're both equally crap. 15.
15. Okay. You can definitely sense that. You can sense the power coming from the conduit again, like full power. That it's filled up, and almost like it's pulsing. And in the beginning, you're not quite sure what. You've heard this before somehow, somewhere. You're not completely sure, and it takes you a while to clock the experience, but then you realize that it's sort of like boom 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 boom. So the heart is actually sounding like a heart, or it's pulsing like a heart.
Do I hear this as well?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like hearing; it's more like feeling. It's more like
Okay.
the pulsation.
Mm-hmm.
But known as that, you cannot hear it or feel it, but you do get like a warm feeling around you. Like you know you're used to it from your dream guide, and they're present now, and you can feel a warmth, like you get a sense that you feel good.
Okay.
But you, Arleem, you don't get that sense. You can just sense the energy in the heartbeat.
Yeah. I kind of am just looking kind of aghast at the conduit, as if probably for the first time, Neza, Arleem is lost for words, doesn't know what to say, isn't saying anything, which probably in itself is alarming. And I just kind of stare at the conduit, and in my head I'm just thinking, what have I done? Holy shit. What I tried to do at that point is to call upon it power, so probably to cast a spell of some sort.
Okay. What are you casting?
Just something simple like a cure wounds or anything that would usually require its connection.
Okay. You try and cast cure wounds on yourself. And you get the sense that it works. You feel the warmth that normally follows when you cast a healing spell on yourself.
So I suppose, having had the conduit for a while, I can tell when my power is coming from me or when it's coming from me and the conduit, because obviously I had some core power before I got the conduit.
Yeah.
Is this now all coming from the conduit?
No, it's coming from... I mean, you get the same sense that you've gotten all the time while using this thing, that it comes partly from it and partly from you.
Okay. I kind of look up at Neza and I'm like, I think my spirit is in the conduit now.
What? No, that shouldn't have happened. And I take the conduit from your hands and I'm like looking at it. Are you sure?
I'm telling you, I can sense it. It's not with me or around anymore. It's in there.
That's concerning.
What are these conduits? We thought they could only store magical power, right?
Well, that's what we thought. But it was always an untested theory from Frayne. So these are the first ones of their kind.
Where's your mirror currently?
It's on the table next to where the conduit was.
Okay.
But it felt like it wasn't... It didn't want to go in there. The conduit took it.
Fascinating. And she goes with the conduit over to her workbench and starts making some notes about what you're saying.
Okay. I kind of just stand there, still very confused. I was going to do this anyway. I hope you don't think I'm just doing it because you mentioned it, but I would pick up the mirror and kind of glance at it again.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of absent-mindedly, given that that's what I've been doing for the past 3 months.
You're probably sort of frantically just, spinning around yourself to see if it's, somewhere in the room, and you can see Neza standing behind you. You're turning around, there's nothing there, and you're looking around, and as you turn back to Neza, you all of a sudden see something standing next to Neza. And as you look closer, you can see it's not blurry anymore. And you can see a fully formed being, still a lot of light everywhere through the mirror, but you can see it, and you can see that that they are standing next to us and they're looking down at themselves.
I can only see it through the mirror, though, so I can't see it.
Not in real life, no.
Okay. I kind of rush over to the table with the mirror, and I'm like, Neza, can you see this?
I look in the mirror. Can I see it?
You see it yourself.
No. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at, and I wave at myself. I'm like, just me.
I kind of angle it so hopefully the being can see me trying to kind of look at it and interact with it.
This is different. And they're looking at their hands, turning them around. I feel like I've seen these before, and yet I don't seem to remember. And they look towards you, but it's sort of towards the mirror. And normally I just see, you and a lot of this energy. I actually see. Is that me? Is that myself? Do I have this long hair? And he points to its hair.
I don't know. I've never seen you before. You're only hearing half of this conversation.
I'm just observing.
I don't remember this face. I didn't know I had a face. Do I have a face?
I'm looking at your face. You have a face.
Is this how it feels like to be a deity?
I thought you weren't a deity.
No, I was your guide. Oh, am I a god? Is this what happened?
Did we just make a god?
I don't know.
What don't you know?
I think we maybe have made a god.
You can't make a god. The gods just exist.
No, I think we made a god.
I don't think that's scientifically possible to make a god. Because if it was, like, wouldn't we definitely didn't make a god, Arleem. That's just preposterous.
Someone is praying to us right now. They're at home.
You can feel that?
You can see it. They're looking in a direction. I didn't normally, but
Where?
like down on the street to the left, 3 houses down.
Take me.
Okay, let's go.
I just leave.
Where are you going? And Benjamin, just stay here, and I follow.
All right. So you go outside. You go to the right.
I grabbed the conduit on the way. I obviously don't need the conduit behind. Yeah.
And you turn right down the street, and 3 houses down. You're standing in front of a house, and the guy's like, in there. They just prayed. Like, I think they're having. What time is it? I think they prayed over dinner or something.
I'll knock on the door.
Okay.
Wait, what were they praying for?
I mean, just they said thanks for the food, even though I didn't have anything to do with that, but I'll take it.
What are we
We're going to have a
doing here,
conversation
Arleem?
about taking praise for things that we shouldn't be taking praise for, but right now I will knock on the door.
What are we doing
Alright.
here?
Just hold on 2 seconds.
The door opens and like a half elf is standing inside.
If they're
yes?
eating deer, they should be praying to me.
Yes. Oh, Arleem. Hi.
Hey. Hi. Do I know this person at all?
I mean, yeah, you've seen them around.
Okay, cool.
don't-
I'll just pretend I know their name. I'm so sorry to interrupt. Were you just praying?
Yeah, we
For
set up.
food, right?
Yeah, how did you know? Have you come? Oh, sorry, go on.
So I kind of look at Neza. I'm like, because they prayed to a god, and the god told me.
Your god told you? He's asking.
Yeah.
Sorry, just who did you pray to? Like,
I mean, we just said like a evening prayer like we always do, and you know, I guess we just been thanking, you know, the deity that Arleem has been, you know, talking about for the past few months. So, you know, it's just, yeah. Clearly confused about
yeah.
what's going on.
I will say to him, look, it's all good. He thanks you for the prayers. Honestly, he does. And just keep the faith, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, we will. Thank you.
Thank you. I kind of turn and walk back onto the street. I'm telling you, Neza, we've done something. We've made something. If not a god, then an incredibly strong deity who is able now to manifest himself in this world.
Fascinating. But only you can see him.
What is my guide? I've always only ever been able to see him. My entire people have only ever been able to see their own guide.
Oh, someone is knocking at your door.
What? I run.
Neza also runs.
With no explanation again.
All right, you run back to your house, and as you are arriving, you can see someone is about to leave, and they see you, and it's Ray.
Lyrae.
Lyrae, thank you. Wow, that was far away. Lyrae is just about to leave your house.
Larry, hey.
Oh, Arleem, you're needed. It's time.
For what?
Oh, come on, don't be silly. Just follow me. And she's just quickly starting to walk in a direction.
Okay. I see a quick glance at Neza, kind of shrug and follow.
Neza also follows.
And Lyrae
feels like
is
I've
walking.
dragged Neza into something completely grander than I intended to do.
Lyrae is walking towards the infirmary, and you now realize, I mean, I haven't told you yet, but Arleem now realizes what it is. And Arleem is being brought inside, and inside you can hear someone screaming. It's a tiny voice screaming. And as you enter the room, you see a new first celebration that is probably about to happen. The firstborn on this planet.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So this
Is this the woman that was pregnant?
yes.
I forgot about her. About other things going on.
And the mother is looking up at you and she's like, "Oh, so good you're here. We wondered if you would say if you would what's the name? What's the word? If you would bless our child."
I mean, this is a first for me, but I can certainly try.
I mean, I guess this is, the first child well, at least the firstborn child on this planet.
Yeah. I kind of look at the mother, and then is she holding the child?
Yeah.
I will kind of hold my arms out and see if she's okay with me taking.
Mm-hmm.
And as I kind of take the child into my own arms, I'll ask if it has a name. Yeah.
I wanted to go with something like really cheesy and just say that they wanted to call them Arleem, but maybe that's a little bit on the head. I don't know.
Just Leem.
Liam.
Please don't do Liam for personal reasons. That would be really weird for me.
They were elves, if I remember correctly. So they are going to be named Elora. No.
Elora.
Yeah.
That's a lovely name. Okay, cool. I'm not holding the mirror at the moment, obviously, but I can sense where my spirit was in the room right when we entered, I hope.
Yeah, you can sense that he's definitely with you. Yeah.
I kind of like glance into the space where I know that they were and kind of hold the body with one hand, the back of the head of the baby with another hand, and kind of close my eyes and try to pull on the power of the spirit to I don't have bless or anything necessarily, but to kind of, cast some sort of blessing from it onto the child.
Yep. That happens very easily. You feel that the power doesn't necessarily come from the direction of your guide, it comes from the direction of the conduit, but
okay.
Yeah. But you feel almost like someone is, grabbing a hold on your shoulder, and you hear the guide. I will look after this little one.
Oh. Is there like any sort of effect that anyone else can see?
Do you want there to be?
Potentially, yeah. I'd like them to not necessarily have blind faith.
Okay. So as you were entering, the baby was screaming, and still was when you were holding it. But as you say this prayer, they stop and they look towards the. It doesn't look at you. It looks at, or she looks at, towards where the guide is standing, and she's giggling.
Oh. I kind of watch the kid kind of like laugh and kind of smile, and then once I feel like it's the prayer and the blessing is done, I kind of hand it back to the mum, and I'm like, "This one will be looked after. Don't worry."
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I also don't want to overstay my welcome. This is obviously quite a personal moment, so I kind of bow out.
Neza does too.
Neza's just standing there taking notes.
No, Neza's actually like, if you look at her, she's visibly uncomfortable.
I kind of will pull you out of the infirmary and kind of start heading towards the lab again.
Before you leave, Lyra is just also thanking you, and it's like, thank you for this. We're so blessed having you around.
It's not honestly, it's not me, but you're welcome. Anything I can do to help.
Thanks.
Kind of like walk out of the infirmary, but kind of find a patch of grass nearby and just kind of slump down on it and look at Neza and like, I don't know what's happening here. Something beyond our ability, I feel. But it's not because we did it, so...
I can't explain what's happened and how the conduit has made this happen, or made a god. I'm very uncomfortable saying that. Made a god.
Just tell her it's a miracle.
And
I don't like that. Out of character, I don't like that. Maybe it is though. Maybe this is a miracle.
No, there are no such thing as miracles.
Isn't a miracle a phenomenon with no explanation?
There's always an explanation for everything.
Okay. But you don't have one.
It's just a problem that has yet to be solved, a question that has yet to be answered, but everything has an answer.
Okay, well maybe we need to find out the answer, and rapidly.
Maybe. I have another thought.
Hit me.
I don't like it. But these people seem to...
Or...
These people seem to need a faith. Have you considered providing it for them in a more formal capacity?
I mean... No. I'm not the person to do that.
Why?
Neza, you wouldn't understand. If my village were here right now, they'd probably all simultaneously die of shock.
Isn't it the ones who have the most sordid past that make the best leaders for redemption?
That was far too emotional for you. That was far too No, not me.
If not you, then who?
No one. If not me.
Why?
No one.
Then why not you?
This
You already have people worshipping you. Why not make it...
They're not worshipping me, and I've always said that it's not me providing them with the strength they need.
But now you have a god in your pocket, so to speak. So why not be that for the people? You can be a holy man. You can be a priest, cleric, I don't know. Make up your own title. We're in a new world. You can be whatever you want.
Maybe.
They already come to you for
Maybe.
guidance. They have since we got here. You provide miracles. Do you want to use that word? You provide miracles and healing that these people don't have any access to otherwise.
Maybe.
She isn't wrong.
She's not.
I don't know what you said, but I'm never wrong.
That's called metagaming, and I like it.
Okay. Maybe I provide them some way of expressing an element of their faith. But I need to think about this heavily first.
No task like this should be undertaken lightly. But this has happened for some reason, and we don't know what it is yet, and we will find the answer. So why not play along while we're searching?
Okay. I mean, if it helps the people, right?
If
And
it
I kind
helps
of
the
look at my
people.
guide for that one. Okay. Okay.
So, with that little scene, we end up at roughly 5 months after the crash. It is now full-on winter. It's snowing, it's cold. Luckily, you did manage to stock up with the help from hunters. Auburn, you're now a complete level 12. Congrats. So that I believe... Oh, at this point, Benjamin's training is going really, really well as well. So he is a complete level 12 as well. So I believe that should bring all of you up to level 12.
Ooh.
Congrats! We're back where we started. Now the adventure can begin.
Yay!
Yeah, so I guess does Strix have an idea of, like, I think you mentioned earlier, Strix. I got the impression that Benjamin's still pulling some kind of power from Wortam.
Yeah.
So presumably Strix would feel like Benjamin's a level 12 warlock, like he's becoming quite a powerful warlock.
Yeah.
Okay. And last session, we talked about having him trying to channel Wortam's power into some of the conduits.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get the sense from his magical lessons and things that he's maybe ready to handle something like that?
I would say there is a very high probability that could work, yeah.
Are we going to make another god?
Strix doesn't even know about the first one yet.
Oh, yeah.
How do you even say that? How did that come up in conversation? Oh, by the way, the other day we created a god.
Yeah, I don't think we've told
I don't know.
anyone.
Do we want to play out that scene?
No.
Yes, and... All right. Neza, you feel like you're arriving at a point where you cannot really do a lot more experimentation. Two different reasons. Reason number one, you feel like you have a star map of your surrounding stars currently. You also have a star map over here of Bara, but you still cannot connect the dots or connect the stars yet. What you have been doing to try and gather more information, you know that all these buses record everything that happens while they are, in transit and stuff like that. Because, science, data, you need that stuff to figure things out.
It's all very important.
Yes. So one of the things that you've done over the past 5 months is that you have utilized your goblin friends. You know where 2 of these buses are, and they have been scavenging for you and found everything, and you have been to the buses themselves. But sadly, and very conveniently for me, these buses, the data is not there anymore. It's either whatever recording device have been damaged, or anyway, bottom line is you haven't been able to gather any useful information on them. So you do know that there is a chance that the last bus might have information on it, and you know where it is roughly, because Strix have been utilizing his undead to figure out where this dragon lives, and they have found not an exact location, but they have definitely know roughly whereabout you would go looking for it. So that is one thing. The second thing is that sure, you now have one conduit that seems like so far that it is self-sufficient, but you still have 2 other conduits that is slowly running out of power, and they need a recharge soon. Issue being that you're probably down to little over 1 mech-can left with power in it. So your conundrum is, do you recharge these conduits again, because you probably need them, or do you not recharge them? Do you try and go on an expedition to find that data? And if you do so, you probably need to perhaps fight a huge firebird that is spearing fire. So you probably need the power. Or do you save it and, luck your way home? Probably don't like that option, because Neza don't really want to do things out of luck. She wants to have the exact science behind it. So that is sort of like where Neza's headspace is currently.
Accurate. We never trust luck.
There we go.
Is my conduit in need of recharge, or has it been enough time for me to realize that this doesn't run out of power anymore?
It does. I mean, you've only had it like for a little over probably a month by now, something like that. But where it used to, the coloration and it used to fade over time when you used magic from it. It doesn't seem like it yet.
Okay.
It seems like it's still working as it did 1 month ago.
Okay. If it's been a month as well, then Arleem has probably set up a space for people to come should they want to converse or further their faith. He has taken no official title, because I don't want that more than anything else, to be perfectly honest, because that icks me a little bit. So he's taken no official title or anything, but he is trying to, as kind of Neza put it, and as the spirit also mentioned, like, try to allow people to have that faith should they want it, essentially.
Yeah, and some people do, some people don't. But there definitely is a following. Not per se of Arleem, but at least whatever Arleem is telling them about. So
yeah.
Can I put something in here?
Yes, be my guest.
Since Arleem has set up that, once he has got it set up and it's been around for a while, then Auburn shows up. Obviously, he's been seeing his friends meanwhile, but at this point when he's at his peak now, he just comes to hang out, and he looks much better. He has a bit of a winter fur coat now, so he looks a little thicker. but he looks great.
Awesome. If you're like at the space, is this? Are you trying to set up something here, Marty? Or you're okay for?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, cool, brilliant. I just want to say, I'd be like, I'm not one to comment on appearances, but you're looking really good, Auburn. Genuinely.
Thank you.
How has it been? How's training going?
It's great.
Awesome.
I don't get hurt as much anymore.
Brilliant.
And I feel better. I feel stronger. I can pull my bow faster. I can run further, longer, faster.
Awesome. Feels like it's been a while since we've been like out on the field, kind of, putting those skills to good use.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe that's a blessing in disguise.
Also, Auburn's voice has changed. Doesn't have all that trembling fear in it. At least not right now, where he's feeling comfortable. You seem more comfortable too, Arleem.
Yeah. I don't know if comfortable is the right word. I just suppose I saw an opportunity to help people and I took it. But I'll kind of be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. And a lot of it doesn't seem like it's me anyway. I just seem like a puppet. Maybe that's a bit more extreme, but I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's nothing.
I know you're doing your best, Arleem.
As best I can, at the very least, yeah. And people seem to be benefiting from it, both, literally and mentally. So I'll just keep doing what I can do.
Great.
Are you here for anything in particular? Are you here to seek guidance from a deity?
No.
That's
I
fair.
just wanted to see a friend.
I appreciate that. We should grab a drink, given, you can actually handle it these days.
I think I can.
Okay.
Let's do that. That'd be great.
Let's do that.
All right. Do you have drinks at home, or?
I was going to say not there. We'll go somewhere else.
No. I mean, but do you have it in your home, or are you going to the local?
If there's like a bar or something, yeah, like an inn, yeah, we'll go there. Yeah.
The first inn has been built, so you walk over there, and Neza, I think you are walking over there as well, uncharacteristically you. So as you're walking inside, you see that Arleem and Auburn is sitting and having a drink, and Benjamin is probably there as well because Benjamin was with Arleem, so he joined them. Still not old enough to drink, but
And Auburn is still going.
We can make our own rules.
Great.
We
It's
have
really
a
great.
brand new town.
that is true.
That's true. Do we have a law system set up?
I mean, I guess you sort of have, yes.
Do we have a council? Are we still considered like the leaders of this place?
Oh, is Auburn security chief?
Sure. Auburn can be security chief if he wants to. I'll allow that. That makes sense. I mean, sure, there is a council. I don't know if anyone of you wants to be on the council.
Probably not, personally, no.
But yeah, there
Maybe
is a council.
Strix, because Strix was like head of security stuff. I don't know.
I don't know, Strix. Are you on the
Dunno.
council?
He'd need to be talked into it. It would not be his instinct to join something like that.
Okay. Then I don't think so because. All right. I mean, there is a council. Lyra is on the council together with Thrak and
I was about to
Redar.
say, I feel like Lyra and Thrak would be on the council for some
Yeah,
reason.
they are. And Redar is on the council as well. So Kacsi is not.
So I suppose we're in good with the council then, because
Yeah.
we know those people quite well, and they probably trust in us quite a lot.
I mean, the only, like, not conflicts, but the only, like, where people disagreeing is a little bit is that most of the people is actually kind of happy here. But there is, and Redar and his people is probably, like, the only ones that, is still, like, pushing to, we've been here for 5 months, why we're not home yet,
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Neza, you get in, you come into the inn, you see the other 3 at this point sitting at a table.
I get a drink and slide in next to them.
Hey, Neza.
Hey. You're looking well, Auburn?
Thanks. You too.
And she, like, wipes some soot or something, dirt off her face, like, thanks.
You're welcome.
So, what brings everyone to the inn? Just come and have a drink after a long work day, just like we used to do. Only,
Exactly.
like, not together, just like that's what you did.
Just
Exactly
savoring
that.
some of this sweet drink.
No, you don't like it, Auburn?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Would you prefer a different flavor?
Are there any? Not that this one isn't great.
Not yet, but we can work on something.
Yeah, maybe something like, with some berries or something.
Do you want to gather some berries and we'll start trying?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Rix, you had some notes that you wanted to pass on to one of the other students, and you know that he would be interestingly enough, at this inn today. And so you fly over there, and the student is there, so you can deliver the notes to him. But you also noticed all the others sitting around the table. And this inn is actually, it's kind of crowded today.
Ooh. Is it an inn or a tavern?
It's actually probably a tavern now that you mention it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, a crowded tavern?
Yes, it is actually a kind of crowded tavern.
Oh my goodness.
Title crawl.
Strix will finish his business with the student and then fly over to the rest of the crew. It's busy in tonight, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what else is there to do? In the winter, at nighttime, in the snow, and the dark, and the
I can
cold.
think of a few things, but you guys probably wouldn't be up for that.
Things that you like to do in the cold and the dark? No, I probably would not like any of that.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, there's one thing that I still haven't done in our training sessions. I mean, that's still, summoning up, the dangerous beings that I can do. Maybe, perhaps.
I think that is still a way off.
Yeah, I don't think that's
Maybe
a
some other time.
great idea. Like, it didn't go very well the first time.
Benjamin's been coming a long way of late, actually. Haven't you, Benjamin?
I have. Look at this! And he casts a spell, and he jumps up and crawls up the wall like a spider, and makes like a flip and lands back on the floor. And I'm like, I can crawl. Whoa! And you can see people around just looking at him like, what the fuck is going on?
Was a little creepy.
Maybe we shouldn't give him alcohol. I don't think he needs it.
It was only a small sip. Auburn didn't want it.
I want it.
So,
Any closer to getting home?
well, Might I interest you all in an adventure for old time's sake?
Oh, what have you got in mind?
Crossing the forest and the river and the mountains and going and finding that red flying lizard bird and getting the last van and the mag cans.
Cool. Have fun.
Wait,
Yeah, you're coming, right?
No, are you kidding me?
Absolutely. We need somebody to, provide healing.
Yeah. And?
That's you.
Okay, so things have been going super well here. We've done essentially what we said we set out to do, establish a new place of existence, and you want to potentially ruin all that by throwing yourself down the throat of a big scaly bird that almost, need I remind you, destroyed us on day one.
Almost destroyed us. It was nowhere near us, Arleem. I mean, like, it was ages away. Like, it probably didn't even know that we were there, except that you threw a rock, and that maybe gave it away a little bit. I'm not too sure. Probably just a little bit, but
No, yeah, not the rock. It was I made a sound, and then it immediately obliterated everything within about like a 10-meter radius of that sound. In
right.
half a
So
second.
we don't make noise.
Okay, so Benjamin stays behind then, right?
Oh, I'm going. I'm not left behind. That sounds like fun.
Look, Benjamin's on board.
I'll go. We don't necessarily need to fight the thing.
No.
We can just steal. the magic.
Specifically, the navigation system.
We should take precautions, though. We don't want to not be ready to fight it if we need to.
Mm-hmm.
And then Strix will reach in and pull out an almost empty skull conduit.
Oh, you've been busy.
Well, like I said, Benjamin's pretty much ready, I think.
Also, he threw a lot of lightning bolts at me.
I guess.
I kind of awkwardly cover the conduit I have strapped around my chest that is still full going power after 2 months of use with no recharge. Kind of like, ooh.
I think Benjamin's ready.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I mean, like, come on. Let's do a quick test. What are the three kinds of elemental folds?
And I don't know what you want me to say, but Benjamin
I want you to
explains
make
exactly. But Benjamin explains it perfectly, like it came straight out of the book.
You see, it's just a simple elemental fold.
It's
I think we
so
can do this.
easy.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds great.
Yeah. You've been studying, Benjamin. That's fantastic. See, Arleem, there's nothing to worry about. Benjamin is ready to go, so, And if we go while it's snowing, that will dampen our sound, because snow is just a natural sound compressor.
Okay. Are we going to tell the council that we're going?
Oh, you said I had like 10 more arguments in my pocket.
Maybe the big red flying thing is hibernating.
It could be a bear.
Mammals
Like a
do
bear.
that in the winter.
It's also been like 5 months. How do we even know the Magcan is still there?
Well, we don't. But we have to try. And like I say, it's not actually the mag can that is what I really need. It's the navigation inside. I mean, the mag can is like super important, but like I really need the navigation.
I mean, that's fair.
So grabbing the mag cans is secondary. And
But like also primary.
oh,
I mean, like, I wouldn't say that they're not important. Like, they're not unimportant. They're very important. But, like,
So grab
the
both.
navigation system is, like, very important. More important. They're both important.
Okay.
For a
What's the navigation
scientist, I
system
don't
look
think
like?
you quite understand the concept of primary and secondary, but sure.
Primary and primary. There is no secondary. Secondary is not dying.
Okay.
Grab all the things. Got it.
I mean, we don't need all of the things, just some of the things. Let's be clear, like, we don't need to bring all of the doodads. I have plenty of doodads. We just need some of the things. The two very important things. Like, maybe the three very important things.
Neza?
Yes?
We need you as well.
Yes.
Neza not dying is primary. The rest of us can be secondary.
Well, I said three primary things.
Like colors.
And this conversation is supposed to be enticing me for this adventure, or
Yes.
Oh, don't you worry, Arleem. I'll protect you.
Yeah, I know you will. I mean, we're running low on mag cans. It's the only other one we're aware of. We need a navigation system. Sure, I'm in.
Great. That was too easy. Okay.
How many soldiers would you like?
How many can you provide?
A lot.
Not that many. Try less than a lot.
Some.
Okay.
But also, it wouldn't be a bad idea to leave some here.
I agree with that. Someone should protect it.
Ooh.
That's not a good idea. I thought you had
No.
them under conduit.
Like,
If I can add something quickly to Strix's knowledge, because Strix has sent out undeads to scout out the area, and sure, there's one very big one, but it's not the only one. There are other smaller ones. Probably children. You don't know if there is dagger connection, but it's not the only one that's up there in the mountains.
Yeah, I don't want to use the term infested, but there's some number of bird lizards.
Like 3,
Sorry, one.
4.
It's hard to get an exact number, obviously. Don't know if
Many?
you've seen the same one more than once. Many.
Okay.
How have we not seen them?
I mean, they're like 3 days walk away from the camp.
A 5-minute fly for them, probably. We saw how speedy the one got away from us. What do they eat on? What are they feeding on? What are they...
Goats.
Do I know?
Probably goats.
I mean, sure, you have seen other kinds of animals in the mountains, and from what you gather with your intel is that they tend to stick to the mountains. They don't usually fly down into the forest area.
Cool.
Okay, so we'll leave in the morning?
I mean, so we're doing this tonight then?
Sure.
Marty,
Okay.
does anyone in the camp make healing potions? Is there an alchemist here?
Do you want there to be one?
It'd be great if there was.
Right. Okay. Sure. There will definitely be some kind of. It's still like a slow process because herbs are not the exact herbs and stuff that are needed for their healing potions are not the same in this planet that it is at home. But there is definitely a small stock that is available.
So we should probably get some potions for this trip.
Absolutely. Gotta support the local economy.
We're paying them?
No. We're paying them by bringing them home.
Because I actually got rid of my money. I don't even use it here.
Well, that's fair. You could have made it into something. Where did you put it? Did you bury it? That would be very strange.
No, I just left it in my house.
Here.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, so it's still here. You haven't actually gotten rid of it?
No, I just don't carry it around.
That's totally different thing than what you just said.
All right. I stand corrected.
Rather pedantic. I kind of open up a part of my belt and pull out a relatively hefty, like, coin pouch and kind of like dump it on the table. And I'm like, someone put a donation box at the at the altar, and this is what's in it. I don't spend it. I feel weird spending it, but this is what's in it. I kind of open it up and go, it's not all coins though, and it's just a variety of random coins, different currencies from potentially back home, some other round-shaped things like bottle caps and other bits and bobs.
I'm sure this would be gratefully received for the potions.
Sure.
Whatever. So, the morning, you'll be ready to go?
Uh-huh.
Yep, gonna be busy between now and then, but sure.
Do you need more time?
I'd like more time.
How much time?
Well, enough time to do this and then raise however many soldiers you want.
I'm not a military commander, Strix.
Couple days,
Couple days.
if this works tonight.
Okay. A couple days.
All right. So, question.
Put my camera out as that happens because it's cooling down for some reason. Don't know why.
So, question. What are you doing with the almost empty skull?
I would like to go back to the lab with Neza and Benjamin and have Benjamin try and infuse it with Wortam's magic so that it becomes self-sustaining.
Okay. I'm watching Amanda's cat.
What was that?
I could kill her. I could do it.
She
But I
could.
won't.
She's far too lazy to cause murder.
All right. So you go back to the lab, and you are explaining what you need Benjamin to do, and you start the process as it normally you don't normally would do. But Benjamin is Benjamin having a pride moment? Oh, maybe he is. Benjamin is like, excuse me, Neza, do we need to do it like here in the lab?
It's probably the easiest place to do it because this is also where the mag can is, but it doesn't mean that we can't
I'm just
move. Do you have?
just thinking out loud here, Strix, because you say that you want the magic that Wortam is using, and you know, as we've discussed, clearly it seems like I'm still, pulling magic somehow from him. But I was just wondering, would it make sense to do this at those weird lines that we haven't told anyone about?
Weird
And then he
lines?
What
weird lines?
At least like.
Strix, have you been keeping something from me?
No. Just
Have you found Layla?
Sorry?
Have you found ley lines?
I don't know if I'd call them that. Benjamin, do you have that map still?
I always have it in my here, like here, right here.
I'll look for an area where like a lot of lines are joining, like some kind of confluence.
Yeah,
And
you can
then-
probably like half an hour away or something like that.
Yeah, maybe we should try that.
I'm
What
not
are
sure
these
what's going
lines?
on.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mentioned them to you, Nessa, at one point about some sort of dimensional interference on this planet.
Yes, I recall something about that vaguely, but that was last you mentioned, and that was like 5 months ago.
Yeah, but I got nothing else since. So
Nothing else has happened since?
I mean, lots of things have happened since, but I've figured out basically nothing more about the lines since then. Benjamin made a map of them.
And, okay.
Pretty sure Wortam knows what they are, but...
How does he know? How do you know he knows?
He seems to interact with them when I see him around.
Oh, so you've seen him and seen that he interacts with them, but nothing else has happened in the last 5 months regarding the lines? I feel like that's something that has happened.
Well, Benjamin made a map of them.
And Benjamin made a map of them. I feel like things have happened with these lines, Strix. So you can't say that nothing has happened with these lines.
I mean, I've learned nothing more about them.
Okay.
Just like old times.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure we should maybe keep just half an eye on Kacsi.
Why?
Why?
So I think he might be talking to Wortam.
And you kept that to yourself as well?
What?
Why are we all keeping secrets from each other?
I'm not. I came to you the second we made a god.
You made a god?
You made a god? What?
You didn't tell them about that?
You didn't tell them about it either!
Right, clearly we've all been keeping our secrets. So
I have.
Yeah,
don't
sorry I
have-
didn't tell you about the lines, guys.
I don't have any secrets anymore. We already learned that. That's a bad thing. So I'm very disappointed in every one of you.
You're not going to have a bed to sleep in if you don't shut up, okay?
I pull out a bottle of the distilled liquor. And I'm like, I think we just need to have a conversation and just really be open with each other about what's been going on the past 4 months.
I've learned a lot of spells.
Great.
Neza made a god.
That was not true.
Yes, it was.
I did a lot of push-ups.
Yeah, I can tell.
Really?
Yeah, you look very buff.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Okay, so my conduit may now hold my spirit.
Your spirit from back in Bara?
Yes. That Wortam allowed me to gain access to again. I don't know if you remember that. It was quite a while ago. And then something happened. I'm not entirely sure what, but he felt like there was some sort of block of energy slash religious prayer that was stopping him from being able to well, I don't know if it was stopping him from doing anything. I don't really know, to be perfectly honest. It was kind of a bit of a question mark. What I know is that there was a blockage. He could connect to the conduit. I brought the conduit to Neza, and we decided that it would be a good idea to allow my spirit to connect with the conduit. He did, and the conduit kind of consumed him. This was about a month ago, but in a way, it wasn't too bad because now I am able to interact with my spirit on almost like a one-to-one basis. Like, he's a material being in this world, but he definitely has more powers and is able to grant blessings and things that potentially you may expect a god to do.
Okay, so
It's a lot to take in.
Is he here?
Yeah.
Can...
Is it a he?
They, it, whatever you would like. I don't know if they're too bothered about the pronouns. I don't know. Does he follow me? I assume he doesn't follow me around.
No, I don't think so. But if you want to, converse with him or it, them, they, you can. You they always show up when you call for them.
Can we quickly recap? So your guide, your spirit, that you've had since Bara,
my life.
that you never really liked and found really annoying,
Yes.
is now a god.
No.
Potentially.
No.
Potentially.
You can't just make a god.
This has been Nessa's argument for a month now, but she made something. I don't know what it was, but something was made.
What does Strix know about where
it's
gods
worth
come
know-
from?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's worth knowing as well that my people's practice isn't like a secret. Like, it's a well-known thing that we have these guides and spirits that we talk to, kind of thing. So I don't think, though, I'm pretty sure, and I've been playing it this way, so I hope this is the case, Marty, but it's like a personal spirit. It's not like one spirit that we all connect to, it's personal spirits for each person. So This isn't like a deity that I have brought into life. This is like my own personal spirit I have made manifest somehow. These spirits are not supposed to be in this plane. This is probably the first time potentially this has ever happened. So I don't know.
Well, is it in this plane or is it in the ethereal plane?
Well, that's a good question. I can see it sometimes through reflective surfaces. No one else can. But they are here. They walk around and they interact and they understand what's going on here.
Have you ever asked them to become manifest?
No, I haven't actually.
I'm just wondering, because there was that time that we asked, you know who, to let us all see him, and then he was able to. Can we do the same thing with your guide, your spirit, and see him? Maybe he has become the same kind of entity as you know who.
There's no harm in asking, I suppose. I will call out to my spirit.
You're muted, Marty.
Yes, I'm right here.
Hey, random question. Are you able to manifest yourself more physically in this plane?
I've never tried.
Could you?
Do we want to leave the camp before we do this?
You're in the lab right now.
Yeah, we're in the lab. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know how I would do it. I can try. And I'll roll. Because I actually don't know. I don't know if it can be done. You can see that your guide is focused and definitely trying to do something. You, Arleem, you can sense, the energy is sort of moving around you. But the rest of you cannot see anything. And eventually he stops, they stop. And then I don't think I can. Or at least I don't know how.
This might not be the cleverest of options. But is there a way that you could manifest yourself in me as an anchor?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Are you saying it out loud or are you saying it in your head?
I probably said that in my head. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm conversing with the spirit. Yeah.
No problem.
That's
Because one of my powers is the ability to channel celestial energy from this being.
I can try if you'll let me.
Sure.
Interesting.
I don't know. Wait a second. Let me see what it is for me to cast that ability. Just to see if there's any
Yeah.
considerations.
What is it called?
I believe it's called. I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Radiant consumption. Starting at 3rd level, you can use your action to unleash the divine energy within yourself, causing a searing light to radiate from you, pour out of your eyes and mouth, and threaten to char you. Your transformation lasts for 1 minute, or until you end as a bonus action. During it, you shed bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. And at the end of each of your turns, you and each creature within 10 feet of you take radiant damage equal to half your level. In addition, once on each of your turns, you can deal extra radiant damage to it. So it's a damage thing, the rest of it. But that is channeling essentially the spirit that I have. That is what that ability is doing.
Okay, sure. You can try and do it.
This is probably something, one, I've never really done before because I never relied on the spirit. And two, none of you have ever seen for sure. So just FYI, keep that in mind. And I shall cast it.
Before you start, Neza is running up and she's like, oh, wait, and she's pulling the like protective shield that she's like built because she has learned her lesson.
Yep. And I've got my notebook out ready to take notes.
So tell me again, what are you trying exactly to do?
I am trying to make the connection I usually make when using this ability in order for them to, now that they are not just like a spirit, they are something more manifest. I'm wondering if they can use that connection to
use you as
an avatar almost, to manifest themselves a bit more.
Okay, so you do cast this with together with your guide, and the rest of you see how all that happens. The light shines from Arleem all of a sudden. Is there something about your wings also becomes?
This is when my wings. You
so
probably have never seen me with wings before. This is my wings. You'll see my wings for the first time.
Yeah. Oh. So the wings pop out, and for the next minute, I guess, he takes. In this case, the guide takes over. And what you see is Arleem standing there, but full of light and wings, full wingspan out. But Arleem is looking at his own hands, and he's like, "Oh, this feels so weird." And you can feel like the way that they are talking is different now than how Arleem normally speaks, like cadence and stuff like that.
Hello?
I think it's working.
I think you can hear me?
We can hear you.
I guess it's working then.
Are you Arleem's spirit?
I believe I am, yeah.
I cast Detect Thought.
All right. You can do that, but you will hear a lot of thoughts. It's going really quick, and there's a lot of them. There's not just one voice. You hear a lot of different voices, and it's very difficult to discern what all the things that's going on at the same time.
What are you?
I don't know anymore. What are you doing? I can sense you in my head.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in here.
Oh, it's not just me. I can hear everyone who's worshipping me, I guess, or us, or yeah.
You mean like a god would be able to?
I mean, I've asked the question. Arleem keeps dodging the question. I don't know if I'm a god. I don't feel that much different. Yet I do feel different.
I look at the others and go, should we all be like kneeling or something?
No, it's not a god.
Isn't it though?
No. No offense.
I think it is.
I think it is too.
Definitely not a god.
Do a miracle or something.
I mean,
I like
besides all this, and I mean, you're just being blasted by light, and
Oh, good point.
That's not a miracle. That's just a spirit embodying Arleem.
I don't think that's just a spirit anymore.
I don't know.
Look, it doesn't even know itself.
Gods can have doubts.
I mean, would it help if I told you I were? I'm a god! I do my bidding!
No, you're not a
Just
god.
kidding.
If you're a god, then I'm a god maker, and I'm not a god maker, so therefore you're not a god.
I don't think you did anything.
I'm pretty sure I did everything.
I was the one who and as that happens, the 1 minute is up and the connection is broken and the light dies down and Arleem, you hear the last bit of the sentence where they're saying that I'm the one who connected to this conduit and made all of this happen. Oh, I think I lost connection. That's bad Wi-Fi in here.
I'll probably collapse the floor after this. Kind of like, did it work? What happened?
It worked.
I think you made a god.
We didn't make a god.
Okay. Cool. I feel weird.
Do you want to, like, nap?
No, I need some food.
Oh.
Violet is coming in with some food.
She's gotten a lot better.
That's my cue.
When you say a lot better, edible, tasty food, or
Yeah.
edible? Edible,
Oh,
tasty.
it's better than edible.
Okay, cool, brilliant. I will.
I'm
have
assuming.
some Violet gives. Ugh. So that's whatever that was.
Something else. Well, it doesn't really matter whether or not your god is a god, at least not for what we intend to do right now. What matters is that hopefully that they're on our side. I think they are.
I've been able to. I mean, I've always been able to converse with them. They've always wanted what's best. I have had them in this state for a month now. Neza, whenever it was that we, and they seem fine. They just want to help. They want people to praise for power to help. That's the cycle. There's nothing else to it.
I think as long as people believe, I think you won't run out of power in this conduit. I think that's how it works.
They're saying that as long as people believe, power will always be in this conduit.
Okay. What happens when you go back, though?
I don't know. One thing that was made really clear was that we were far from each other. We are far from each other. Were far from each other?
I mean, the guide is there with you now, but wherever the power were channeled is far away. After the the actual whatever god you were praying to.
I don't know. I don't know. We were far. Wortam was blocking the connection at first. He unblocked that. I've been able to converse with since it got stronger. This happened. I honestly don't know what will happen when we go back. I don't know if that's closer to the deity that we both believe in. I don't know.
So, the deity you both believe in resides on some plane in and around Baraguo.
Assumedly so, yes.
Are they gonna be super happy if you show up with, like, another deity?
I don't know. But we get our power from them, right? So I'm sure they haven't. They know this is going on. Surely there would have been some sort of change in energy. This is way beyond my pay grade. I don't know what this is. I'll be honest. I don't know.
Maybe we should look into that a little bit more before we start opening any portals, but I think we have other priorities right now.
Yeah, we should be going to that place.
But first, we have an experiment.
Well, we also have 2 other conversation points, which is ley lines, which are arguably you don't know much about, and we're going to find out. But you also mentioned Wortam is talking to someone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's talking to Kacsi. The reason I didn't tell anyone was because I was out hunting and I saw Kacsi shooting magic at a boar. And he was talking to someone, and I've only seen one other person talking to something we can't see.
Benjamin is just looking into the air like...
Benjamin, do you have the map?
Yep. Right here. And he pulls out his notebook journal.
Well, but do you know where it was?
Can I point to the map?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Auburn has the feet, right? And so has Benjamin. So together they could definitely find it on the map, yeah.
Is it near one of the lines?
Yeah.
I think you might be right.
Does our camp go near one of these lines?
Sorry, I don't heard the beginning of that sentence.
Sorry, does our camp exist near one of these lines?
Yeah.
Can every time we've interacted with Wortam be pinned to one of these lines?
Sort of. I mean, they some are closer than others.
Okay.
Anyway, I didn't tell because I could tell that Kacsi was... Well, he was like me before. And I was afraid that if I blew his cover, if I told everyone what I thought was going on, or if I confronted him, he might do something like Benjamin did.
That's a fair point.
And we don't want that.
No, we do not.
So we thought it was a better idea to let his mind be corrupted.
Oh, I've been keeping an eye on him, and I talked to him and took a leaf from you, Arleem. Tried to convince him that he should try to keep a hold of who he is. Maybe he listened, maybe he didn't. But I didn't want him doing anything that could endanger the camp.
I assume this all coincides with when Kacsi became incredibly good at hunting, all out of nowhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Was Kacsi one of the people, this is an out of character question, sorry Marty, is Kacsi one of the people at the beginning who was vocal in feeling useless?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought he was.
He was the one that got rescued twice by Auburn.
Yeah. I don't want to put this into the world. I don't really want to manifest this. But there's an assumption that this is Wortam.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Do you have any evidence? I don't want to say evidence, but not that I don't believe you. I'm just trying to... What if there's another one out there kind of thing, you know?
I don't have any solid evidence. I saw him casting magic. I don't know if he could do that already.
Was it the same magic that Benjamin cast?
No. Benjamin hasn't used Eldritch Blast, right?
Nope.
It's not the same magic.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I suppose it's all guesswork. Yeah.
We could just ask him.
We could.
We never got a straight answer out of Benjamin when Benjamin was being corrupted because he knew what to say to Benjamin to get the right response from us.
I don't think Kacsi would admit readily that he's been given help from something.
He doesn't have to.
I mean, sure, we could find out for sure.
Is it worthwhile?
Did you ever try to read Benjamin's mind when he was connected?
Yeah.
Did you hear Wortam in there? Or?
No, I couldn't get through as far as Wortam. But I could hear a lot of Benjamin's thoughts, even about Wortam.
One thing I need to ask though, is this a priority?
Depending on what the situation is, we could potentially be leaving a camp unarmed with Wortam.
I mean, we're not responsible for camp security. There is people that do that.
Auburn is head of camp security.
Yeah, but you can leave like orders and stuff. You have a second in command, right, Auburn?
Yeah, there. I've been training people.
So the camp wouldn't be completely unarmed?
No. It's just when it rains, it pours, right? Why couldn't... I'm not going to say that. We could have all been talking to each other about this and dealt with it as it came, but we didn't, so...
Okay, well, Strix needs a couple days to do the things that Strix needs to do. What if we approach this within the next couple days as well? Or if it's not a priority, you don't.
Okay, how about this? Strix concentrates on the weird life and death stuff that he concentrates on. Neza, you get us ready for whatever might entail us with Benjamin, and me and Auburn will spend a day keeping an eye on him, and then the next day potentially planning to confront him if we feel like we need to.
That
Sounds
sounds
fair.
like a plan.
There you go. There's our 2 days.
Great.
So who wants to go play with some ley lines?
Let's go. No time like the present.
Oh, whatever they are. I don't know. Strix keeps calling them ley lines.
It's some kind of dimensional interference.
Or
Well,
that.
we can get a proper name with them once we know what they are.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Auburn, could you carry this for me? And Neza just like dumps the last mag can in your hands.
Sure.
Thanks.
All right. So you walk to that nearby line or whatever it is that you knew were nearby. Or did you want to find that? Right.
Yeah, confluence.
Some of them
yeah.
are crossings. Yeah. So you walk over there. It's like outside the camp, a good like half an hour out. And you arrive to that spot and you set up the equipment and you're ready to perform.
I will have true seeing up just so that I can pinpoint exactly where the center of all these lines are.
That's fine. So Nessa, you place the skull down where it's. Did you also bring the other one, just out of curiosity?
Yes, I think I would have.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we'd leave them.
No. Okay, so you place the skull down, and once again you explain to Benjamin how it feels like, and 3 seconds in there will be this kick.
And by the way, Benjamin, if you feel like you're getting pulled into it, resist. We don't need 2 gods.
Oh, okay. Don't go into it.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Very important.
And just like before, you are starting to, you're powering everything up, you're opening the mat can up, and you tell, go, Benjamin, do your thing. And Strix, you can see, since Benjamin now have gotten an understanding and of magic and things like that, that you can see the magic flow from the ley lines go down towards like some energy beams going down towards Benjamin, who's then channeling them into the conduit. And that 3-second hit is coming up, and Benjamin is down on his behind as he's falling backwards as that happens.
Hold it. Hold it.
It's weird. But he regains control and finishes off this whatever you're trying to do, and thereby also drain 1/3 of the mech can.
I close it off real quick.
You look at the conduit. You can see that there's a slight coloration change now in it. The skull, I believe it is like I described it as a purple, and it gets a little bit more of a darker purple than it usually used to have. But it looks, like it's fully charged. Obviously, you don't fully know if whatever you tried to do worked, but it is charged.
How far away from we're quite far from camp, right?
Like half an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
What's a really big spell that Strix you can do and Benjamin you can do? Like, can you do them at the same time, and then we'll just see what happens? Like non-destructive. Like don't blow this place up.
I can summon a demon.
No, definitely not.
Did you say non-destructive?
Preferably. I mean, the last time you tried, you shot lightning clear across camp, and that was not great.
I mean, we don't have any bodies, so
I can do something if you want me to.
Sure.
And Benjamin is casting a spell and he's pulling energy from the skull as he does so, and you see like a flame-like shadows wreath around his body, and he becomes heavily obscured, and it looks similar to what Wortam did at some point when he was there sort of in person, and it's difficult to see Benjamin and his exact features, and you can see, because you're outside, the shadows around you also turns a little bit more dim, and it becomes a little bit more dark. And yeah.
Okay, number one, Strix, what the heck have you been teaching him? Because that was both awesome and really creepy.
Yeah, you want to... I just remembered, actually. Strix pulls out his hole. That, yeah, you... I mean, I've just been teaching him basic principles, the foundations on which magical abilities are built. What he does with them is...
I sort of just, I saw Wortam do it, and I tried it out, and does it work?
I mean, it looked badass, so... Yeah?
You want me to try something else a bit powerful?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Strix will do his usual chanting, And then 10 of the bodies that were in his hole will start to climb out of the hole, but then as they're about halfway out, the bodies will stop, but the skeletons will keep going.
I should have expected that.
That is horrifying.
So their skin just... No, you know what? I don't want to know. And I just like turn to the conduit. What is happening with the conduit?
I mean, it looks like it's fully charged.
From past experience of like heavy spells being done with the conduits before Arleem's spirit was reinfusing, would they have shown a decrease in power afterwards?
You don't currently see any difference. I mean, it seems like it works, but obviously, you know, the best indication would be over time to see if it lasts. But it seems like, I believe that last time you did notice a little bit of a coloration change, and currently you don't feel like you see it, but also the conduit was a little bit darker purple this time than it was last time, so you're a little bit unsure.
Okay. Well,
Did it work?
only time will tell, but early indications might be positive.
So did I do it right?
You did great, Benjamin.
think so.
Good job.
I pat Benjamin on the back.
Thank you. Carrot?
Sure.
Do we want to do the other one?
We can do the other one. It is still fairly charged, but if we can add in that replenishing magic, then that would be...
I mean, it's not like it's full, completely full, because you might have been using it for charging your tablet, so you didn't have to use the Mac cans. So
I didn't want to say that out loud.
no, I'm just telling this inside Nessa's mind.
So yeah, we can absolutely try. See what happens.
So I do this again.
Yeah.
Okay. So you reset everything and you place the other conduit and you start up another round of recharging. And since this one is only half empty, it's easier to charge up, and the kick is not as violent this time. And also this time Benjamin was ready for it. So it goes a little bit easier. He does have to go back down on one knee, as you know, there is some power involved here, but he manages way easier than he did last time.
Good job, Benjamin. How you feeling?
Tired.
Yeah. We'll go back to camp and get you some food and a nap.
Sounds good to me. All right. Everyone happy? Right. So you go back to camp, and over the next few days, you prepare all the things you need for this little journey that you need to take. Auburn and Arleem, I believe you're going to do a little bit of investigation as well. So what are you actually doing with Kacsi?
In my head, it was kind of do a bit of surveillance, see how he is. If he was to go on kind of like a hunt or something alone, maybe follow him, seeing if he was doing anything that was what we would consider out of the ordinary, Benjamin-like, I suppose, is the best way of putting it. In as sneaky and as
Yeah, sure.
sabotagey, not sabotagey. What's the word I'm looking for?
Stealthy?
Stealthy. There's a word for stealth that sounds like sabotage, and I can't remember what it is.
Subterfuge.
Subterfuge. That's the word I'm looking for. As close to that as possible.
Right. Yeah, I mean, in the city, inside the village, it's pretty easy enough to blend in, and because both of you have your, you all live there anyway, so it's not really a problem. And when he's in the village, he acts like pretty normal to you. Albeit he is, seems like he has a bit more confidence than he used to have, like when you arrived here five months ago. But yeah, in the city, in the village, he is, seems pretty confident, but pretty normal. But you do catch him leaving the camp one morning to go on a hunt. So you do have the opportunity to try and follow him. It is winter. There's snow everywhere. It's pretty easy to get spotted.
Not if you have a cloak of elven kind.
There you go. But not everyone has that.
I can shapeshift into a bug. I'm good.
There we go. In that case, you follow him and eventually goes into the woods. Can I get a perception check from both of you?
Bad. 7.
11.
All right. So you are trying to keep your distance, so not to get discovered. So you're having you don't hear anything. So you're just following her into the woods. Auburn, you would be very much aware from looking at that map the other night that you are actually in fact close to one of these lines. So that he's in the direction he's walking. And when you hunt, when Auburn hunts, it's a lot of tracking. It's a lot of, you don't know where the prey is, so you just have to track and you have to find your way around. But it seems like Kacsi is going in a straight line, not really, worrying too much. It almost seems like he's being guided towards something, and sure enough, he does run into, an animal. I don't know what animal would be left in snow. Does deer and stuff like that stay around, or do they migrate?
Elk.
Elk, yeah. So sure, he runs into an elk, and you do see that just like when Auburn followed him, that he is not using his bow. He's definitely using some kind of magic to get to his prey. So he does that. Kills his prey, carries it back towards the village.
So I say to the buck that's been either riding along or following me around, I just say, so what do we do? Keep following him? Do we say something?
Maybe see how far he gets. Has he spoken to anyone during this time?
Has he?
I mean, that's what the perception check was for, and you didn't hear anything from your distance.
Could I suggest that we maybe need to get a bit closer? If we know that distance is the problem.
All right.
Then I'll need a stealth check with advantage.
Why am I doing all these things that I know I'm not built to do?
You don't have to. Auburn has to do.
It's really bad. But he also has disadvantage on noticing me.
Yep.
But my stealth is 14.
14. Yep. He doesn't notice anything. He's not worried at all that he's being followed, so you can get pretty close to him without being discovered. And as you are getting closer, you do hear, his, as Auburn described, the mutterings that he did earlier, where he's like, "Thank you so much. Once again, you pointed me right in the direction, and I can be helpful to the village." And just talking like that, thanking someone as he's dragging along the elk.
I don't like this, Auburn. There's something that isn't right about this.
I feel the same.
Something feels unnatural here. You hear from the mirror.
What?
Just the energy around this place right now.
Is it similar to the energy that blocked you from talking to me all those months back?
It could be. It feels similar in nature.
This is Wortam. I think this is Wortam that's talking to him.
All right. What do
How
we
long
do?
ago did you say that you spotted him?
How long ago was it, Marty? Like a month?
Yeah, like a month ago.
Yeah.
A little over a month ago, probably.
So there's a potential this has been going on for ages. I.e. when he left Benjamin
Probably.
and chose someone else. We only know what exposure to his power is like after a few weeks. We don't know what it's like to someone who has been under his influence for months.
It's also casting magic we're not familiar with.
Which implies maybe he's more powerful than Benjamin allowed him to be.
But he's also still working for the camp and not against it.
Everything Benjamin did was for the camp, right? Up until the very last moment.
Yeah. I'm at a loss here, Arleem.
Me too. Me too, buddy.
I don't want Kacsi to get hurt. But I also don't want him to hurt others.
I talk to my spirit for a moment and be like, is there anything we can do now? Are you able to interfere with this? We weren't able to before. Things have changed since then. You're a different being.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like I can just interfere in a physical plane like I want to. But I can sort of sense the wrongness about the energy that emanates from this Kacsi, so I can keep an eye on him. I think.
Has Kacsi ever prayed to you?
No.
Interesting. That is interesting. He wanted power. He knew there was an entity within the camp that was giving people power. And he denied it for something else.
What's Kacsi doing?
Kacsi is just walking back towards the camp.
Is he doing anything with the gain he brings back? Is he doing any? Is it just for the villagers to eat? What happens to the carcasses? What happens to the remains of these?
Were you asking, or just
Kind of Auburn, but also
Thinking on it, yeah.
understanding that Auburn might not have the answer to that.
Does he just bring them back?
I mean, have you followed him and checked what happens?
No.
That you don't know?
No, I don't know. I don't know what he does.
Do we know from obviously being citizens of this small village that's erupting that Kacsi is the one that provides food? He's a food provider.
He's among other ones, yeah.
He's not the only one, but he's been bringing back a lot, like no failed hunts.
I don't know why. I have a feeling. I don't know. I might just be being pessimistic.
I think he might be doing something, or Wortam might be doing something to the food.
I don't know if it's to the food or if it's like a build-up of undead corpses. He was interested in the spider corpses, right?
Yeah.
How are we disposing of the remains of this game? I don't know.
Most of it goes into like stews, even the bones.
And you're using the leather and stuff for, clothings and whatever you need leather for.
Yeah, no, maybe I'm pulling at the strings here. But something doesn't feel right. I say we just follow him back to camp.
All right. So you follow him back, and he doesn't make any detours. Again, just a straight line back to camp. And yeah, he goes and he delivers, whatever he hunted. The elk, he delivers it back where everyone else is assigned to deliver stuff that they have hunted. And from there, he just go. You could. From there, he just goes back to just doing normal stuff at the camp. And yeah, you follow me around a little bit, but he doesn't seem like he's doing anything out of the ordinary from there.
He's not weirdly hanging around my house.
He is. He's making small drawings and stuff, and it looks like you. No, he's not.
Okay. I still have a feeling that there's a potential. This is like Wortham's like ward into what's going on in here, right?
Yeah.
We knew he could talk to and see through Benjamin. There's a potential he's still doing this with someone else.
Yeah.
And I worry that the second the only people here that have challenged him leave, because we haven't left en masse since then, right?
No.
I have a weird feeling that the second that the we leave, something bad might happen. Because he'll be aware of that.
It might.
And we're leaving behind, like, we've been openly talking about, like, the progress that we've been making with getting home and opening warp systems into space. Like, who knows what he might be planning.
I don't feel like Kacsi would willingly hurt anyone here.
I don't know if it's like Kacsi hurting people. I don't know if it's that. I think it's him being able to keep an eye on people, an eye on us, and an eye on everything here. Keep in the know of what's going on.
But Wortam seems to act through people. He didn't. If he wanted to have Benjamin attack us, or if he could, he maybe would have.
Maybe. I don't know. Again, there's a lot of unknowns.
So if Kacsi is what I believe, a decent person, right down to his heart, I think he would resist. I don't think he would do anything to hurt the camp. But it is definitely worrying to leave.
Even the threat of him no longer being able to provide and be a functioning member of society. We know he didn't like that, to the point where he went out to get some sort of help from a deity he didn't know, despite the fact my spirit has been guiding people and helping people since day one, right?
Yeah, so maybe it's better that we don't threaten to take it away from him while we're doing this other important thing.
Oh, absolutely. That's definitely the conclusion I've come to. Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. But my only concern now is that Wortam will know what's happening. He's aware. He knows what's been happening. If this has been going on for months, he has eyes into the camp.
I mean, I think he's powerful enough that he could have done that the whole time.
Yeah, maybe. But to that point, why would he be doing this then, right? He's not doing this out of the goodness of his own heart, let's be honest.
I don't know, for spite? Get a new toy because the other one was taken away.
Then he'd be being broader about it. He'd be rubbing it in our faces somehow.
I think you're right.
Something doesn't add up, and I don't like it.
We'll get through it.
Yeah.
How long do you continue following Kacsi around?
I mean, this is our duty for the day, so I'm assuming we're following him around. In the town, we probably don't have to be as inconspicuous as Bug and Cloak of Elvenkind or whatever it's called, but
okay.
Yeah.
So just always hanging around on a corner here. Oh, hey, Kacsi.
What are you doing now? And now? And what about now? No, if you follow me around, at some point, obviously he will need food, so he goes to, the tavern and gets the food, and you see that from what you've known of Kacsi in the beginning, he didn't really know a lot of people that well, and now when he's at the tavern, there is a few people surrounding him now, and they're sitting together, and they're having, it seems like, they're having a good banter going around and having a good time. And in the afternoon, he's going and helping with other things, everyday things that needs to be done at the camp. And again, at dinner time, back at the tavern, hanging out with the same group of people, and again, seems like they're all having a good time. Getting a few alcoholic drinks that they seem like not really enjoying that much, at least the taste of it, but it still works. So they're having some fun, and then eventually they all go separate ways and go to bed.
You say same crew each night?
Mm-hmm. Well, you don't know if it's each night, but at least that day when you're following him, it's the same crew from lunch and dinner.
Can we hear what they were talking about at all?
Sure, you can stick around and maybe make a small perception check for that.
22.
17.
Nice. I mean, it is a lot of banter, and it seems like they're having a lot of just having a good time. And let me think. They are at some point commenting on Kacsi's hunting skills, and they also like one day you really have to show us how you're doing it, and and Kacsi is like, yeah, maybe one day I'll show you how it works, and I think that's probably the extent of it. Yeah.
Okay, so no shared conversations about potential skills they've all acquired as of recent. In fact, quite the opposite.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. No.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to do, or is that it?
I think that's it.
I think that's
All
it.
right.
I can't think of anything else that could potentially
All right.
move around on.
Then you spend the next few days preparing for the travels, and you each do acquire a health potion. There's sadly not too many to go around, but you do manage to get one each. And in the morning of the third day, you head out and you start traveling north.
Oh, before that, Marty, I used a lot of arrows. Can I fill up my?
No. Yes, of course you
Alright,
can.
so I can
you
carry-
you have access to arrows, and it's not a problem. So
Right.
to get that.
So I'll fill up my quiver. That's 60 arrows.
There we
I
go.
shouldn't run out.
There we go. So you head up, you head north towards the mountains, and in roughly 3 days' time, you'll probably arrive and start scaling the mountain, and that's where we'll start next session.
Okay. Good job.
We have started on the end.
Amazing. Only 3 sessions behind.
Nah, we're fine. We're good.
Yeah, we're here right in time.
Yeah. Perfect. Oh, this was a really cool episode.
Yeah, like this was good.
I really loved the time shift, the glimpses into time. I thought that was awesome.
Yep. Thanks. I mean, thank you as well, because you provided a lot of the entertainment. It's all based on what you told me your characters would be doing. So
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, we are amazing.
Yeah.
You're right.
Thank you. Compliment us more.
yeah, especially the god among men. He's like so amazing.
I know Auburn
I
is
am.
way
You're
back.
right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for being here. For episode session number
10.
10. 10. Sorry, I was just like, was this 10?
Yes.
Double digits, baby.
Oh my goodness.
It's not January anymore.
It's not. It's not. I don't know where the year has gone, but it is mid-May. Who knew?
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Crowded Tavern, and even if you didn't, like, hang out with us on social media at Crowded Tavern. You can also find us at crowdedtavern.com, and join us on Discord at crowdedtavern.com/Discord. We're also available on YouTube, all your favorite podcast players, and right on Twitch. All, again, Crowded Tavern, except for Twitch is Geek Herring TV. We will be back next week, not live on Twitch, but next week with an episode of Last Orders. And then on the 29th of May, we are having an all-day long recording session to get to the end of the story. So
Gonna be
maybe
awesome.
come hang out. That'd be cool.
I'm definitely going to be there. It sounds like fun.
Yeah, good. That's great. I'm glad somebody's going to be there.
I'm washing my hair that day
Oh, well, that's
for
a shame.
6 hours.
Okay, no problem. We can do this without you.
Well, for
Great.
6 hours, then you can be there for the last 3.
All right,
I'll have to get
and
back in for that, aren't I?
see you soon. Bye.
Bye.